Welcome to Tinker Tailor's Solder Fry, and after 2,000 years, I'm free!
We finally get to come home.
Yes.
It's so nice.
Did you know for the past 2 years, I have not heard that theme song? It doesn't play for me when I play it at home.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's so
fair.
I just get kind of jammed there. And here we go. Yes, Tinker Tailor Solder Fry. It is the Let's Try program here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name's Ian Horner, and I will be your navigator today as we go through another new project that I have never done before, and we're going to see what it's like. Hey, there's someone else here too, which is new.
Hi, everybody. I'm Beej. You usually get me on the other side of this thing. Just my voice, being a jackass. But yeah, I'm here because this is my project, and I'm terrified, which is why Ian's here, is so that I'm not terrified.
I'm foolhardy. Yes. So what are we doing today, Beej? Because this is a bunch of beautifully knolled equipment here.
Thank you.
We've there's some repetition. What's going on?
So yeah, the genesis of this is that because I had a lot of time to watch YouTube, I fell into a YouTube hole about watching Game Boy Advance mods, and I was thinking maybe I should upgrade my DMG-01, my original Game Boy. And then I was like, Heather really liked the Game Boy Color. Maybe she should get a new Game Boy Color. And then I was like, well, wait, if we get a Game Boy Advance, we can play everything, and like all the Game Boy Advance games and Game Boy Color and Game Boy games. And I'm like, but can I justify it? Well, not really, because everything's expensive.
Yes.
But then I was like, oh, but still, Heather, I think, would enjoy having one. And maybe I should just get it as a gift for her that I'll occasionally be able to use, because that's how it works.
That's the best way to do these.
Exactly. And so I looked into it, and for $200 Canadian, I was able to scrimp and save my way to getting all the components that I would want in order to upgrade to make kind of an ultimate Game Boy Advance. We're going with the standard like soap bar one, the wide one, which is also Heather's favorite form factor for it. So I'm like, if it's going to be a gift for her, I want to be sure I get this right. And part of that is part of what that included was also I managed to get a Game Boy Advance for a very affordable price.
Wow.
Which would not normally be possible. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say who actually did that for me, so I'm not going to say.
I was wondering why you'd chosen specifically the King of Fighters FX custom case as something you'd want to mod. But
well, what's funny about these is that anything that's a custom case, you could probably just go on and find the replacement shells for them anywhere anyway. So if anyone ever really needed it back, like the custom,
we can go over.
Right, the custom of this essentially is. There's a big sticker on the back above the standard, like whatever. It's still an AGB-001, right? And then it has a custom glass lens, and then it has this this not really a sticker, more of I guess probably a
silk screening.
Yeah, silk screening for the logo, and I'm like, well, whatever. It's fine, and my generous benefactor has been very nice about here. Please.
You really get the finger grease
right
at that angle,
Yeah. So this is going to come apart because the only thing we're using from this is the motherboard.
That's it.
That's it. Everything else that's in here, it's going to go into probably into plastic recycling, unless somebody in the chat is like, I really want a King of Fighters shell. It's like, fine, email me. We'll work that stuff out. Also, the reason why we like this is because it also has a headphone jack on it.
Important, yes.
Yeah, other than the Game Boy Advance SP did not have a headphone jack. You had to have the custom adapter for it, but anyway. So you're going to see more things out here because there's a purple shell, and the reason we got this is because when you ship rechargeable batteries, if you ship them on their own, you get charged tax on them, but if they're part of an assembly, you get charged nothing. This shell is completely empty. There's nothing inside it. All they did is just put that. They didn't even frickin' color match the back, and it has a USB-C charging port on the bottom. So
that's modern.
Yeah,
you could pipe your headphones through that.
Yeah, I mean it would just be for all you would get is battery, but and then there's this what we're actually using for the shell is this really nice by Retro 6.
Oh, that is.
It's pearl blue, and if you look at the difference in kind of the sheen,
that is gorgeous. Let's get that over again on the on the close cam.
You can tell that it's a different treatment, and these are the blue one is a prestige shell. I think they're both technically Retro 6 shells, I believe, but the
So
this is the Prestige Blue, and it has a nicer kind of slightly, just tiny bit grippier feel to it.
It feels like it's got a, yeah, that's definitely a satin coating.
It's a custom thing they had to come up with to make that work.
So the purple shell is literally packaging for the batteries.
That's correct. Which means I have an extra shell now, which I will either, maybe I'll sell it on, or maybe I'll do something else. But yeah, so these are a lot of the stuff is made by Retro 6. These have actual Nintendo logos in them, which is great. But anyway, we'll move on. Funny Playing are the people who made the who make the actual IPS mod. This is a $3 sock that they sent because I'm like, well, I need to have something to keep it in when it's done.
Yeah, because you don't want you don't want to scratch up your front.
Yeah, and it smells terrible.
Oh, well, I mean, off-gassing is
Exactly.
a hell of a thing.
So now let's come to the kit.
Yes.
Because then we know what's going on. So I ordered a black, what they call a black holographic
Okay.
glass lens. That's a tempered glass lens, and it's holographic because the holographic Game Boy Advance logo that's put on it. I ordered that one because I was like, I need a glass lens for it. And then when the kit showed up, it came with a glass lens. But I didn't know if I was going to get a black one or not. And Heather was like, I'm like, what color do you want? I know it's a gift, but now you're going to be in on the whole
It's got to
thing.
be black.
And she's like, I'd rather have a black one than a white one. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's what I'm getting then. So I ordered a black one. It was like $3, even though it came with a black one.
Well, there we
anyway.
go. You're now safe.
Yeah, I have yet another one. So again, if we break one, we have an extra.
I mean, keep that around for future.
This is the IPS screen.
Ooh, yes.
It is it is just an IPS screen. It is larger than the standard screens that go into a Game Boy Advance, which is why we're also getting a new shell, because if you compare the size of that screen to the size of the old screen, you can already see they're not the same size.
That's significant largeness.
And we would have to Dremel out we'd have to Dremel this out in order to hold the larger screen size, right? So we're not doing any of that. I bought a new shell specifically to avoid doing that, especially when a new shell is like $16 American, I think it was, or something like that. It was like, it can be cheap.
The minute you start taking knives to plastic, there's no going back.
Exactly, right? And I don't want to hassle about that. This is the brains. So while that was $16, $17, this is about $40.
Please test the the kit before installation.
Yeah, what they want you to do is to hook everything up to it, and then get the battery and everything running with it, and then before you screw everything back together, make sure that it all functions properly, because we might run into a thing where it doesn't function properly.
So this is translating the regular screen instructions into the IPS screen instructions?
Correct. That's what this does. And
It's a driver board.
yeah, and it has you can see it has two connections on it. It has a 32 and a 40, I think is what it is, because one type of Game Boy Advance takes one and the other type takes the other, so they built them both into the cables, and you use the one that fits the motherboard that you have.
That is ridiculous.
It's a great idea. There's a little bit, so their soldering comes in here. Because the little pads that you can barely see, but it's where my finger is you can see the little shiny bits there. Those 4 pads, oh, that's perfect. Those 4 pads, A, B, LR select and start, or whatever it is, or select and ground, we have to solder down those, and then, LR select and ground, I think is what it is, and we have to solder those to the motherboard so you can use the buttons to adjust your screen brightness.
That is rad.
Yeah. Ooh. Now you don't have to do that in order to make this work, but then it will lock in at a default brightness, and that's all you can ever have. So it's like, I hope we can make this work. And this is an official Funny Playing, direct from China, but it's an official Funny Playing one because it has all 4 chips on it. It doesn't have one giant ass chip. Oh. Because the unknown ones, the no-name models, have a single chip, and sometimes they have screen tearing and stuff. They're like the original one.
Because, I mean, screen brightness obviously was the big problem with the GBA.
Absolutely,
The
right?
entire lack thereof.
And we knew people who made afterburner ones where they put the... Right?
This guy in.
Yeah, so this is going to be like light years beyond what we expect, hopefully.
I always remember Penny Arcade had a comic where they're talking about how it's a testament to how good the GBA is that I spent an hour playing it in my bathroom because that was the only place that had good enough lighting.
Yeah. So these are LCD bracket pieces. I don't know if I need all of them or any of them at all.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. This is also this is a pre-cut
Oh, the lens.
gasket.
Right.
Yeah, that holds the thing in place on the inside. So this is supposed to hold it in place. This is supposed to hold, all these things are supposed to hold things in place, and I don't know what of them I need. So we'll see. Then let's get to the parts. All right, this is the fun stuff. These are the, those are the, come on,
New
Beach.
buttons?
Those are the membranes for the buttons, which if we don't like the original membranes, which are probably still good, we can use those instead. These are clicky triggers for the L and R button.
Yes.
Those will also require soldering if we decide to put them in, because the standard trigger is probably not
That's good click.
right. Not a good click on this, but a good click on those. And so we might swap these out for that, but it means having to desolder and solder those in. I bought a brand new Game Boy speaker just because if it were in there, we might as well attach a new one. They're
Extra.
very easy to attach. So it's like, that should be fine.
It comes with the adhesive necessary.
Yeah. That's the Retro 6 button pack that I bought. It's
Okay.
just matte black.
Straight matte back. Ooh, satin.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so here's the other two pieces that were giving me a bit of a headache. So this is, respectively, the Clean Amp Pro, which is that piece. That's an amplifier that's already been laid out, so it just fits right onto the motherboard, and then you just have to solder down the pieces to the motherboard. You don't have to do any wire routing or anything else. It all fits in the motherboard.
So it's an improved amplifier.
Essentially, yeah. It has a thing called Pure Silence is built into this model apparently, where it will, when you duck the audio down, rather than having a slight hum or a slight hiss, which they always tended to, this just gates it completely. Now, some people have complained that also sometimes it's like you have to turn the volume up quite loud for the gate to turn off, which I'm like, well, I hope that's not the case, because we're going to put this in and see if it works. And the other piece is a dehum dehiss kit that will take the dehum and dehiss out of the audio while it's playing, like while you can hear it. So it's supposed to clean up that audio even more. And the people who sell the Clean Amp also make the wire hum kit, the dehiss kit, and they say we recommend both for the best experience.
Good thick caps on that.
Yeah.
This is really like transplanting a GBA brain into a new body,
Yes.
as opposed to upgrading a existing GBA.
Yeah, as far as a mod goes, this is a lot more hardcore than I would have expected that I would ever want to get into, because there's a lot more stuff going on. But I'm like, if I'm going to get in there and do it once, then I better make sure I do it all.
Yeah.
And when you start seeing the prices on stuff like, oh, this thing is only $7 for the amp, and I'm like, well, it's only $7. Yeah, add to cart. It's like, well, this thing's only $9, or this thing's only $5. It's like, add that to cart. Oh shit, I'm up to about $200 now. That's what you include shipping and stuff.
Cut to the $6 million GBA.
Yeah, it's so much, and I could have gone as far as to be like, I'm gonna buy an aluminum case. Oh. Right? But even those on their own are $100, $200, right? I'm like, no.
But the fact that you can get those now is really good.
It's super cool. So we basically have to start with, I have to start unpacking this, but we could also start by like prepping this, or we could wait until it's in the system and then we can do the soldering once it's in the system. I know there's a lot of different instructions. I sent you the instructions. We have them on the iPad waiting for us. But yeah, I can basically start by unscrewing some of this stuff, and we can get down to the real.
That seems like a good thing to start with.
Yeah. How far are we into the thing now?
We are
20 minutes?
Yeah,
Oh
20 minutes.
God, I was talking way too much.
That's quite all right. What you're going to find here is that this is probably going to be a lot easier than we think, just because modding technology has increased so much, even just in the past 6 years, since the time I started with the Dreamcast.
Yeah, you had a recent thing with like where you were like, I did all this work on the Dreamcast, and then recently there's been some steps forward again.
I've been keeping an eye on the Dreamcast modding scene as I went through the work of modding my own Dreamcast the hard way, and every time I'd come back to look at it, another of my issues just got fixed to the point now where it's just don't bother soldering anything, just click something in and you're done.
God, that's so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so it's things like this, it's as close to a click-in installation as you can get.
like if they had sent this to me with everything already pre-soldered on the one side and was like, you have to solder the other thing down, I'm like, That's probably the next simplest thing they could have done.
Now the wires that are in the bag, those are those are for the.
Those are for the soldering.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, like I mean, they really thought of everything when they gave you when they gave us like when they put this together.
Good. I'm gonna see if I've got a little container for your screws there.
Awesome, thank you.
Before those disappear.
Because if not, we can probably just put them in the Game Boy Advance shell that I'm not using.
That's, you know what? Let's just do that.
Okay. Here. Also, yeah, this thing came with extra screws.
Oh, well then.
Wait, are those any of them tri-wing? Because if they're not, we can just not put tri-wing screws
No,
back in
these
here.
are all Phillips.
Oh shit! Maybe we should do that.
I think that is another upgrade.
Yep.
So we were talking before the show. For those not aware, Nintendo. Well, actually, let's see if we can even see it on
There's
the.
also some room here.
See if we can see it on the zoom camera. Nintendo products use tri-wing screws, which is to say that they have, if you can see in there, 3 slots in a Mercedes or Peace configuration, meaning it's impossible to use anything but the tri-wing screwdriver or a drill to get these out.
There we go.
And so if we can swap over to standardized screws, that will make, I don't know,
In the future, it means I wouldn't have to worry about having my tri-wings on hand.
it makes emergency repair possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm very much on board for like, if I don't have to have something on me, then that's so much the better.
So there's a number of which
Which thing do I want to do first?
yeah.
Okay, so let's start with. Let me make sure I have all the screws of this thing. Oh, right, and there's one inside there too. Let's start with probably the audio things. We'll get the motherboard out and we'll do the audio things first, because I think that's probably the least objectionable thing
Yep.
to try.
The D-hum is definitely just a.
Or do we want to swap out the clicky triggers?
If we're gonna swap out the clicky triggers,
Yeah.
let's do that last.
Okay.
Because that might. Let's consider that the bonus
Sure.
option.
Okay. Then you can also have a look at the motherboard and be like, I think we can handle this, or
Yeah.
maybe it's better that we don't handle this.
I want to do this. I don't want to do
Yeah.
this.
All right. So that I think is the last screw.
Candle
Have you actually played anything on this particular GBA?
Yes, because I want to be sure it worked.
That good.
So we popped the things in. I mean, I could go. It's still together technically right now. I could go test it right now to make sure it still works. But we popped batteries into it. We popped cartridges into it. Everything started up. I could hit start. I could run around and like play Castlevania. And I was like, okay, then that's. I think we're good to start.
Did you notice a bit of a hiss on the audio?
I didn't. And I mean, that's the thing is people always were like, oh, there's a hiss or a hum or whatever, and I never have ever picked up on it myself because I never really thought to pay attention. So, all right, so the back of this lovely case has come off.
I had not realized that was a translucent case.
Right,
Wow.
that's a smoke kind of nice
Yeah.
case. So, all right, there's that.
For the Fighter Kings.
So then the left button and the right button just kind of pull out from the top, and they have little springs on them. So those come out, go over there. These weird pieces that go on the side that do nothing, you can see them here. All they do is they're filigree, so they come out and go over here.
They make it pleasant to hold on the outside.
There's that, yeah. They have a nice
You get
rounded
those
kind
sharp edges.
And I think inside it's all Phillips heads.
Oh, great. I can help you with that. I unfortunately forgot my electric screwdriver at home.
That's all right. I think there's only a couple of. Okay. So there's more. This is the other thing too. There's more corrosion on the back.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nasty.
I don't know how we want to show that off, but to get that off, I should probably get some like. And there's a little bit here. Yeah, maybe I should go get a.
Get a Q-tip and some alcohol.
Yeah, we'll do that. All right, I'll be right back.
Continue to. I'll have a look there and see if we can get that up on camera while we're having a look. There we go. So yeah, that's not, you don't like to see that. Yeah, the other side cleaned up pretty okay, looks like, but yeah, we could get some of that off there because that's not going to be conducive to soldering or to, really, I mean, having this thing stick around. You don't want that to spread. And I can also find out what size of screwdriver we need. Can we go larger? Never go smaller than you need to when it comes to screwdrivers. There we go. That looks like that's the right size. Alrighty. So it's just the one screw there? 2 screws. Perfect. Just trying to get a handle on where I'm going to need to solder in here. And I think for this one, it's nothing too ridiculously small. Let's grab the manual here. So for the dehiss, we're going to be down in this corner here, and we're going to be soldering to this point on the battery. This point, it looks like right here, and I think that that's to the side of that capacitor, so that's no problem there. And then we've got under 54.
I have a problem.
You have a problem.
I have a problem. I don't know where the alcohol is. But what we do have is hand sanitizer.
No, that's...
No. We also have apple cider vinegar, which will dissolve that shit, but it will also leave apple cider vinegar.
Yes, it will.
So I need to find either like lemon juice or like another weak acid that we can use.
Do we have?
I don't know. I'm going to go look again. If you have a plan of attack in the meantime.
I'm going to have a look in to see what we've got in the old box chest of fun here. No, but I've been looking for these, so that's good.
I'm sure we have some alcohol around here somewhere.
I mean, yeah, we could we could break open the overproof scotch. That might do it. Nope, Lego's not going to help. And then this is all mirrors up here.
That's the vampire detecting drawer.
Well, window cleaner, Everclear, high proof vodka, as people are saying. First aid kit. No 10% cleaning vinegar. No, unfortunately, none of that. And whatever this is, the Grinch Winter Seasonal Ale is only goes up to 6.5%. So I don't think that's going to be enough to take off anything fun here. That said, we can probably...
I mean, it's probably good that the alcohol you're drinking is not...
is not 90%?
Not rubbing alcohol, yeah.
Probably good. Let's see here. Grubhub at restaurants cleaning supplies. I mean, we could probably go outside and siphon some diesel out of Beach's car, and that would certainly fit the bill. Acetone maybe, says Square.Cube. I don't know if acetone works well on...
Wouldn't that mess with the plastic of the board?
Oh, absolutely that would. And I also don't think it would be soluble to the salts from the batteries. But actually, you know what? I'm just going to do a quick test here and see if flux will take care of that. Although it occurs to me now that you generally want to clean your flux off of things once you're done with it, so probably also not exactly what we want. Okay, those are just, I'll take a little bit of that cotton, there we go. Cotton. And we'll dab some flux on there. Oh, that's nasty. And we'll just see if that loosens at all the... No, I'm going to say no, that's not going to be the answer for us. What'd you find?
Okay, well, we could use hand sanitizer. That is the thing that's the alum in it. We could use vodka, which is 40% alcohol by volume. Or I can get out the first aid kit and see if we have alcohol wipes.
That's probably the best answer.
Yeah,
Because I don't think the Absolute is going to be high enough proofage for us.
probably not.
Nor do I think the hand sanitizer is.
No, probably not. Polysporin. Oh, we have, are these gamer eye drops?
Those are gamer eye drops.
Those are gamer eye drops.
Yeah.
Those are probably pretty corrosive.
Wouldn't put those in your eyes. Cover plast.
Actually, this might...
Oh, this is benzyl chloride. This is not alcohol. It's an antiseptic. Crap. Do they not do alcohol wipes anymore? Do we have a much more up-to-date kit? Pain relieving gel. Face shield. Shit. What the hell is this? Kimberly-Clark. Sterile, not for injection. 0.9% sodium chloride. Oh, it's saline.
Not for injection.
Yeah. Not for injection, saline. Just loose gauze in here. Like, why is it loose? Sterile iPad. Cold compress. Okay.
Sorry, iPad, right.
Right, yeah.
Sterile iPad. Didn't think that would be necessary, but here we are.
Okay. Well,
You know, you might just have to unscrew your terminals later and clean that out yourself.
yeah, I think I might. I mean, I could go get the fucking apple cider vinegar and
That does not seem like a good
I wouldn't
idea.
do that. I mean, especially now that you've got the Tri-Wings out, you can just pop it off and get an actual Q-tip in there.
yeah.
I feel like getting apple cider
So many
on
things in
your
here.
electronic device is a reason why you have to then clean your electronic device.
Oh, wow, yeah, those buttons on the corner are just terrible.
The only other thing that we
Wow.
have that's a weak acid is orange juice.
And that's
So
even worse.
We're moving on.
By the way, I love the Canadian politeness. Almost entirely empty bottle of Absolute vodka, but nobody will take the last teeny bit.
Yeah. I mean, it is vodka, right? Like, let's find out.
I think I just realized that I didn't know there was any left in there.
That
Do
might
you want
be-
me to continue with the disassembly here?
Yes, may as well. Yeah, you have the thing out. That's alcohol. Yep. Ooh, my tongue is all light and airy. They're not sponsoring us. I don't have to show their logo.
No.
Oh my.
Yeah, did you touch the bottom of that sanitizer bottle?
No. Why is it leaking?
Oh, don't. No, that's just crud on there.
Oh, God.
Bad smelling crud.
Great. Oh God, alcohol's the worst. You're brave.
It's I'm here to keep it from you.
Yeah. The thing is the Moonbase doesn't ever need a lot of these things. Like, we don't need 70% isopropyl laying around for any reason. As far
I
as
mean, we really should have 90% just sitting around for all the for cleaning.
under the
things.
sink. Oh shit!
Beej may have found some alcohol under the sink. All right. Next bit up here is going to be to remove the ribbon cable from the original screen, I think. I'm going to wait till he gets back before we do that. Just because that's a little bit of fun. For me.
Here on Tinker Tailor Solder Fry, we use everything but the kitchen sink. Although now we're having to check that. Maybe we do use the kitchen sink.
In and around the sink. Sink adjacent. No, yeah, Julia Munn points out that it was difficult to find 70% even early on in the pandemic. I remember when there were the breweries around here were switching over to making hand sanitizer.
Well, and there's the thing where too high a percentage, for pandemic purposes, too high a percentage was actually bad because it evaporates too quickly.
And then it turns out it's all airborne to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I generally keep 70 and 90 around for different purposes. You know, sometimes you want that really strong attack of that 90, and then sometimes you just need to sit for a bit which is what the 70's for. But
Then you just mix them together and get 80%.
that's how you become a master mixologist. Or blender, that's what they call it in the whiskey world. Yeah, we've got some, I do keep Everclear around as well, but very rarely use that. The last time I used that, I think, was for making my own gummies. Yeah, it was, a few Christmases ago, I made Christmas gummies. They didn't turn out too great, so I decided not to do them on the program.
I was not aware that Everclear was one of the ingredients in gummies.
Right, because I wanted to make them boozy gummies. That was the key.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's like, God, gummy bears have a whole different... Wine gums brings on a whole different meaning now.
All right. Survey says no.
Unless it's in one of your other random boxes here, but yeah, no.
I don't have. If it's not in my case and not in my bag, then I don't have any here.
That's fair.
I was going to mention it's about time to remove the ribbon cable. So,
All right.
you all ready for that?
Yeah. Did you want me to take responsibility and do these things? Or
Yes.
okay, yeah, let's
It's
do
fun.
that. Mm-hmm. I do. I mean, I have taken apart lots of stuff before, but it was always when it didn't matter. So, is this the ones? These are the ones that have the clicky bit built into them, aren't they?
Yeah, I think those are the ones where you pull it forward. Because that's definitely not a hinge. Or is it? No, it's not.
Hang on. Is it really just lever this up a little bit? Ah, yeah.
Yeah, it's the tabs.
You push the little black tabs out just slightly. Hard to see on this, I realize, but I mean, you could show that. Maybe we can show that off.
Yeah, there we are.
So you can see that there's little black tabs on either side. You push them towards the back, each one individually, and then
I think then the ribbon cable will just slide out.
oh, because it's a Ziff thing.
Yeah. So what you're going to want to do is probably flip the motherboard out.
Because you could do this, and yeah, I think you're right. You're right. Flip the thing out.
The term zero insertion force is thrown around a lot
Sure is, isn't it?
in the electronics world.
Nope, that's still holding on.
Okay, did we get it out enough?
Maybe you're right. Maybe. I mean, they seem to have come out as far as they're supposed to. Ah.
There we go. Just needs a little bit of force.
All right. So there is a Game Boy Advance.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Mobo. Let's have a look at this.
This thing has so much. So it has foam, like really. Yeah, that is like really densely compressed, but also a thin piece of open cell. Yeah, it feels like open cell foam, protecting the screen from the rest of the thing, and it is on with a sticker.
Adhered directly to.
Yeah. So
God, Nintendo does a really good job of labeling their motherboards.
yeah, have there been a lot that you've seen where they're not so
I mean,
good?
it's nice to be able to see right on the board here, left, right, up, down. A and B.
Select start.
Yeah, often
yes.
in the final production build of the board, they'll take that kind of stuff off.
Wow. Yeah, there is some. Where's that hand sanitizer?
Some crud on there you don't like?
Yeah, there's.
We're just gonna go for a little bit of that and see how it.
Under the contacts for start and select. That's I think something that you're going to want clean. On the back of the battery terminal, you can do that
Okay.
anytime. But
Where the hell does this go? I should have been paying attention when I pulled these things off. Does this one go on this side? Oh, because it goes like this, probably. Yes, it does. I'm reassembling this for the sake of having all the parts kind of kept together and out of the way.
just noticed that the CPU is AGB, which I assume stands for Advanced Game Boy.
Yep. Like the original Game Boy was DMG, which stands for Dot Matrix Game.
Aha!
Yeah.
Smart. Which is different, of course, from the LCDs of the Game und Watch.
Let's put...
Which is whatever I called it whenever I was playing a one-player game with my brother.
You got to game, he got to watch. Yeah. Okay. I'm putting the Phillips head back in here just to keep this together with all the pieces.
Go right ahead. That's a good idea.
And maybe I'll have to put another one in on top too, but that's fine.
All right. Where were those switches for the corner pieces? I just want to have a look at those.
So...
I think those are them up there. Yep.
Oh, right. Yes, those things.
Oh my. Yeah, I don't want to touch these myself today because of the way that these are wired in so very differently from.
You know what this cost me? $2.
Hey.
So I don't care if they go in or not.
Yeah. So here's where I'm coming from. There is that they are soldered onto the board. Yes, no problem. But when you look at the back, they're also attached to these metal, I guess, reinforcement points, and I don't think that they. I think that they're actually, yeah, if you look at the mushrooming on the back end of the plastic, they are attached to that metal.
So judging from the legs that are on these things, and I have no idea if we can show off the legs on this or not, you can see the 4 legs sticking up on one of those buttons. I think Ian is talking about all 4 of those legs basically feeding through that metal piece and then being crimped into place, are they not?
Well, no, they're actually just chopping off 2 of the metal
are
pieces.
they? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's these 4 plastic reinforcement mounting points that are, like, I'm guessing plastic welded and mushroomed out to these reinforced.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to look up how they attach these new ones to find out, do they actually need to somehow be adhered to that, or are you supposed to detach the whole thing and just put these in?
I'm pretty sure you need these big metal brackets.
Cool.
Because otherwise you're going to be pushing on directly on buttons on the motherboard, and that's going to bend and everything's going to be terrible there.
Okay.
But let's go ahead with an audio mod.
All right.
We were going to do the...
These are my rubbers I don't need.
Yes.
Put them over there.
Where did that iPad go? Over
Over
there.
here. Yeah. Let's start with that audio mod, I guess.
All right, so let's get this out in front.
This is a power switch, which we don't need either, so we'll move that over there with that. I'll figure all that stuff out in the future.
So as we can see here, we've got the big old iPad, and it's telling us that we need to solder at a few points. I did look at a YouTube video, and they suggested that we tin these beforehand.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. The iPad kind of gives you a really good picture for people at home. You can kind of see how when you blow this piece up, that little piece that Ian's looking at being this big, you can kind of see the tiny little green circles there.
Yep.
There we go. They're yellow for you guys, I guess. But
they are tiny.
Yeah, they're tiny, tiny, tiny little things. They're I don't even know how to describe how big they are. Like the size of a chia seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if I've got the right. No, this will do fine.
Okay.
Okay. So,
as much as I want to have a try, but I want to have a try in a way that I'm not going to screw this up.
Okay.
So if you are like, I want to tin everything first, so that it's all like, so that it we're going to do the dehum kit. Yeah. If you were like, well, they said to tin everything first and do whatever, then I'm like, I'm more than willing to let you do those things. But then there's like, okay, Beej, this will be the safest one for you to try to do. I've gotten the other ones in place. Come in here and do this real fast. And be like, okay.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Test you, yeah.
So we're just going to test fit this here and have a look at where things get connected, just to give us
the soldering equivalent of like throwing the baseball at the the ceremonial baseball throw.
First pitch.
Yeah. I definitely want to have a chance to try it, but I want to know, like, this. What's dumb about this is back when I was working on my.
Can you grab one of these?
Sure.
Sorry, it's easier for me to do it than try and describe.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was you needed. Back when I brought the guitar on the show, back when we were in Moonbase Delta, that's a while ago, I had, do you want me to operate the camera to make it a little closer to what Ian's doing, or?
I'm just, trying to figure out.
How we can get a good line on that?
Yeah, maybe.
But back when I brought my guitar in to be like, I'm going to take this thing apart and I'm going to resolder everything and clean the switches and do everything else because the switches are all janky and yucky, and we'll put contact cleaner in them and then we'll spin them around and do whatever. And then I never did any of that stuff. I took the whole damn thing apart over 3 hours and then put it back together and didn't try soldering anything. And if I have done like a solder on a couple things before in the past on like an old guitar pedal and whatnot, but ultimately I haven't had the kind of practice you've had. Mm-hmm. And with this kind of tiny traces that you're looking at. And so it's like, however confident you are of being able to do this correctly on a scale of 1 to 100, I know that I'm way, way, way below you on my level of confidence.
You're at a level like it's a 10.
Yeah, it's like I feel like I could maybe do it if I had a lot of time and I was just kind of like taking a lot of deep breaths. I could probably make it happen, but it's like, oh.
All right. Yeah, I'm about a 70 right now on this.
Okay.
Because there are some very, very small bits, but I still think we can work with it.
Okay.
So we're probably going to want to start by fluxing everything.
Okay. Because flux helps the solder draw to the contact.
It does. This is another thing we're probably going to want to clean up, so we might want to do a cleanup at some point on the board, but leave it there without too much of a problem for a while. Make sure I'm doing the right things. Okay, here's some there. And then, these are such tiny little surface mount capacitors. Especially this C26, I do not like it. And then of course we got...
There's those two that are really close to each other that I was just like, oh, yuck. I don't look forward to that at all.
Yeah.
The YouTube videos, when I watched the dude do this, and you watched him too, I believe, because it's like, well, let's get a sense of how you go through your work and all that kind of stuff. And I watched it, and I'm like, it was like an 8-minute video, and the guy's just kind of like, okay, first I do this one, and then I do this one, and it's like he's doing it, and then like after about 10 seconds, he's like, okay, now move on to the next one, and whoop, okay, that's done, and then I move on to the next one, and there we go, that one's done. And he's tinning everything first. And he's not shooting himself tinning everything like and doing it all like without a break like we're doing here. But yeah, definitely that watching a guy do this and just being like, oh shit, wow, okay, you can move.
Yeah, if you'll excuse me, I'm actually going to put on some equipment here.
Yeah, all right. What do we got going on?
I don't get to use these very often.
So Ian has put on his new magnifier glasses.
We've had these for a while in the Tinker Tailor backlogs, but it's not often that we need to use them.
We're not quite at the soldering through the microscope era yet, but
yeah, we'll just need someone to send us a microscope is all. There we go. Okay, now I can really see what I'm looking at. Okay, let's start by tinning the other ones.
The component?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get the soldering machine on. Let's 500 is too much for what we're doing here.
Too high. Ha
Yep.
ha ha.
600. No. We want about 350, I think.
I guess the smaller the component, the less temperature you want, right?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Like you want something that's going to be able to melt it pretty quickly, and the melting point on this, I don't know if it's on the actual soldering iron, but I think it is in the 350 range.
It's just funny watching your Hako count down, because it was like, it says I'm supposed to be at 500, right? And it's like stop. And so when you reset it to 350, you can just watch the LEDs are just going tick 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 tick.
361 is what the melting point of this is, so we're going to take that back up to let's say 380. 380 sounds good.
Sure.
Enter and AT.
gonna take it to 362. See what happens.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get those out of the way. Let's bring in our iron holder. Yeah, let's put it there.
I'll do whatever I can to make your life easier.
Thank you. We don't need this in the front right now.
Okay, yeah, that's
Not while I'm tinning.
a good point.
Okay. Let's clean that tip.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I might actually change soldering irons, but. All right. Take it down, add some solder. Yeah, we're going to go a little hotter, I think.
Okay.
It's taking its.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it shouldn't take that long to melt.
right. I'm just having a look to see if there's any corrosion at a point that is, I'm going to not be able to reach once this thing is on. I'm just going to take one of these little sticks, and I'm going to see if I can scrape off a little bit. That's just... Don't worry when I say this part isn't good TV, folks. I can't... Watch Ian. He's doing something way more interesting.
Okay, got a tin there. Let's add some more solder to the. Let's take it down to the pad. Add some solder. Solder. Come on. There we go. Take it down to the pad. Pad just soaks that up. Maybe add just a bit more there.
I wonder if a dry cotton ball will do anything.
By itself?
Just like, yeah, just a little bit wrapped around a...
I think that might just get cotton ball fibers on the.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'll catch on anything. I think if I can avoid components, maybe it'll...
There we go.
I can get the back of this thing anytime, just like you say. I can take the back off and be like, oh, okay, let's just get in here and clean that up later. And everything else seems
There we go. That's a better.
pretty tickety-boo.
That is a better tin.
I'm gonna not worry about that.
Okay. Tinned.
Oh, you just got tinned. And to clarify, tinning is when you put the solder down on the target before you, like, sort of pre-soldering the.
Correct. It's like getting some extra solder in there, so you don't need to get in with a third hand and solder.
The idea is like it's prepared so that when you get in there, you just touch it and you watch it flow into place.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So if we want to have a look at these thing in the.
I do.
Whoop,
Oh yeah, they were all little gold before, and
and
now
we
they're
can
all
see-
little silver.
and then this on this side, you got the other ones, all three nice and clean.
Yeah.
The nice thing about solder is that it wants to stick to metal. So
Right.
as long as you provide it with metal to stick to, it's going to go there.
It's funny because when I watched the dude solder this in place, he only soldered down 4 of the 5 contacts. And I'm like, what are you doing? Am I supposed to solder all 5 or not?
Now, if I remember correctly, he was saying to do these little ones first, right?
The 2 that are next to each other?
Yeah, the 2 bottom ones.
think
down
so.
here. Me too.
They're the tougher ones, so you might as well, like, while you're not exhausted.
Yeah. Get my pokey stick.
Yeah, you got a different pokey stick.
Okay, it's this first one that I'm extremely concerned about. One that's really right down there in the corner.
Do you need another hand to kind of press the thing and hold it in place, or?
Not really, it's just positioning it right now.
Right.
Because it doesn't want to get there. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, so the neat thing about both of these kits, and the reason why I bought both of them is because I'm like, if I have to solder them, My problem is that I don't want to start soldering wires end to end and everything. And so when I saw these things, they're like, literally you tin the contacts on the component, and then you just lightly touch each contact once you flux the other contact on the board. And the solder should just flow into those spaces and hold the thing in place. And it's perfectly designed to like line up with all of that stuff. Which was super impressive to me. I'm like, wow, you can just literally do a thing like this and it will, and you can bring it together. I did not think that would be, that would be how people would do stuff these days. But it makes sense.
This is a lot easier than the options of trying to run wires.
Yeah, because the little tiny wires are just, it's asking a lot, I think, of people to do that kind of thing. But
Well, especially this way, you know, like if it's not lining up perfectly, then you know you don't have everything in position correctly.
So you're attaching that to existing surface mount components?
Yep, right to the edges of them.
yeah,
Wow. So that is it. It's basically like overriding those components.
it's joining the circuit, I think, is what ends up happening. It's the way everything's mapped is it's like I'm adding an additional piece to the circuit.
Wow.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know what it does. Like these giant, like these very big caps that are in there, it's like, so what does this thing actually do? Well, you can ask them about it, and if you knew how to read a circuit board, you could probably figure out how it's supposed to work, because there's no chips. It's just straight up components.
This one is just components.
Yeah. The amp is a chip, I believe. It's some sort of interesting amplifier, but I was just like, yeah, blown away by this idea of add a couple caps and whatever else is in place on this thing, and boom, there you go. You've got something to take your hum and your hiss out.
Are these replacing those other two caps?
I'm not sure if it routes around them or not. I would assume like it's meant to join in, but again, I don't know anything about how this was made, and they don't really talk about here's our reasons for why we did things this way. They're just basically like, we designed a thing that does this. Isn't this cool? It's like, yes, it's cool.
And yeah, as Lord Zarno in the chat says, it's interesting that there is, like, those are pretty big. You wouldn't think that there would be enough room in the back of the GBA to allow that.
Yeah.
But I guess they're not actually sticking out much farther than the slot.
Yeah, which means that however they designed the Game Boy Advance, they were like designing it with enough like headroom to be like, everything fits in here comfortably. And it's like, yes, because it has to feel good in your hand. And this is a case where the modders are like, we're taking advantage of all that headroom.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. You have 80% headroom, great. Now you have 95. Now you're like at 95, so you're real close now, perhaps. So
I'm just checking some continuity here to make sure that I got the connections that I
Hooray.
wanted.
Okay.
So that goes to there. Okay, so that's not quite connected. Now, it might not be a direct connection because I'm not sure what the circuitry is on this particular little mod.
That's
but
fair, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that's not actually connected. Oh, wow, yeah. And there is that one. So I need a bit more solder in there. I thought I did.
I guess we're at the point where we can't, it's not like we can boot this up with just this one piece in it and see if it works.
I mean, I think if I, I'd have to get the battery connected to it, and I could put a Game Boy cartridge in the back of it, and we would probably hear audio if the thing tried to, well, we wouldn't, because it would probably looks for the screen as well. So we could disconnect everything and hook up the old screen again and be like, hey, did it all start? And we might be able to get something out of it. And that, I mean, doing it piece by piece, you know, it's like, put everything back together, then try it out. Okay, it works. Now take it all apart again and put the other piece in it, make sure everything works. And it's like, I agree that that's probably the smarter thing to do if you're like, I have an entire afternoon in which to spend on this.
I mean, my philosophy with like when I'm say like building a PC or something is you put it all together like once.
Yeah.
And really hope that it works.
Yep.
And if it doesn't, then you start doing the piece by piece thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just causing no
Oh, it came loose.
into my shame.
Let me see.
So we're going to push that back a bit.
Like it's the same thing with the PC. With the PC, like technically you can, test the various components of the motherboard as you're putting them together and trying things out and stuff. But
Yeah.
who's got time for that? When you could be spending your time cursing and trying to figure out why your PC doesn't work.
Come on. Okay, I think that got that there. Nope. Okay, I think I need to tin the battery terminal as well.
Oh, yeah. He said something about the battery terminal being, because it's nickel plated, it doesn't want to take solder. And so you had to you have to really heat up just the battery terminal until it starts to burn a bit. You're basically burning the nickel plating away so you can put a big solder blob on there.
Let's do that then.
Yeah. I guess maybe not a big solder blob, but a big enough solder blob.
And solder blob.
Yeah.
Looks like the floppiness of that of the little cable or PCB or whatever there, the sort of springiness of it is kind of pulling it away from the.
Yeah, but I imagine also that in a way I kind of like the fact that it's like I'm gonna act like this, so you'll know whether or not you've got this thing in place.
Right. I mean, the solder will stick it down.
Yeah, the solder will fight that and hold it in position. So yeah.
I think that one's got it.
Did you want camera 5 as more of a wing shot, maybe? Like bring it alongside the side of the table? And getting in from the side, or?
I guess that might help. I don't know.
Let me just see if moving the camera a bit.
Oh my god.
And then he focused it.
I'm just upset because of how well that previous section went.
Well, the one that was really touch and go, right?
Yeah, the really small ones.
Let's rotate that a bit more. There we go. That's way more focus.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's get a bit more flux in there.
I was going to say, did you want to turn me loose on it instead and just be like, all right, Beej, you can, I've almost got it, but here, you go ahead and fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I wish it were that that way.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is not an indication of future performance.
Yeah. Surely not. Come on, babe. Here we go.
If you watch a lot of DIY YouTubers, like I do, you often hear them like complaining about it's like this is not very hard to do. It is, however, hard to do while having a camera between, like trying to do it while making it visible for the camera.
Yeah.
Or like, if you have to have like a camera between you and the thing you're soldering. So it's like, I'm trying to do this while working around a camera.
Right. Does it keep coming off on the...
Battery terminal yet?
Oh, that's too bad. I cannot tell you how much I want to just get in there and put my hands on things to help. And I'm like, that's not how you help, right? No, Dad needs you to hold his flashlight.
Yeah.
He doesn't need you to get your hands on the oil filter.
What I want to do is actually just get a little scratch on that battery terminal.
Oh yeah.
See if that might...
Like get a little bit of emery board or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, scratch it up a bit.
Here we go.
It's interesting that that little extra board is actually like fitting on top of other components, instead of being flush against the.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see if that will allow it to accept my solder. Okay, I think I might finally have something I can make a contact with.
Oh, good.
So let's hope that works on that side, and let's just tin this up a bit on top there.
I think we're a long way from just like having something like this where you can be like, just get some really sticky adhesive and then just peel it off and stick it down on top of the things. And
well, some of these are really
clever like that.
yeah. Some of them actually can just click in.
You're telling me about the Dreamcast ones where it's like, this is literally a mod now where you buy this thing and you go and you just stick it on top of a thing, and by friction fit it just is like, now I am modding your Dreamcast.
Yeah, I remember over the course of the Dreamcast
Saga.
that people in the comments being like, well, why don't you just use this chip thing? And it's like, well, that wasn't around when we started this.
Yes. Well, when did you start this? It's been a little while. I love the built-in safety apparatus of Ian being like, okay, so I have my hand low, and I don't know if everyone's seeing this. He has his hand low, and he comes in below the table to where his soldering iron should be, and then he lifts his hand very, very, very slowly, and kind of like drags it along with the wire almost, so that he knows where the handle is going to be.
Rather than just trying to like blindly grab for the soldering iron.
Or, picking it up like a pencil, like you see everybody doing stock photos.
Well, is that like a trope in stock photos,
Yeah,
is that people have their fingers like on the hot end of the soldering iron?
Attractive people with great big smiles on their face, holding the soldering iron like it's a pencil. And it's just like, yeah, that's exactly how I'd look too. I'd have a great big smile on my face. I'd be like, take the picture, take the picture, take the picture.
Solder just can't bridge that gap, eh?
Well, it's that battery terminal. It just does not want to stick to it. No matter what I do.
How did he prep it again? Did he actually try to burn the nickel off of it? Because he definitely did what you did, which is keep the iron on there until it starts to discolor the PCB around it. Because it's like there's no components around the PCB, so it doesn't matter if the PCB gets a tiny bit burnt. The traces are still good. But yeah, how did he do that again?
Oh, we might have a good connection there.
Ooh.
On that one, which might not mean that we get a good one on the other one. Just who knows? We'll find out soon.
Okay. Turn down the volume.
Yeah. Now that's far away.
Let's see here.
Yeah, well, that's not connected anyway, so there we go. Okay, let's see if we can get this one connected and then work on the other one.
Oh, that's neat.
And there you see it disappear off the iron and it just flowed onto the spring.
Ah. His technique is you put the iron on top of the terminal, and then you put the solder on top of your iron, and it keeps like a bubble of it on top of the iron, and it just sits there and sits there and sits there, and then you can see it flow around the island or the iron onto the terminal. I'm like, that's magic. That's crazy.
Ah, dang it.
Did it just pop loose again?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let's try that. Let's try it that way. And we'll add a big old blob of solder on top of the iron.
Yeah, he just kind of touches it. You want to see how much he uses? If it's instructive? I have no idea if it's instructive.
We're just going to use a big old blob.
Okay.
Feed a little bit of solder in.
Not working.
Yeah, we got some.
Okay.
That might just be enough to do it.
Okay. I was hoping it's not due to if any of the corrosion made its way down to the down to the actual contact.
Might have, but even then, it's probably fine.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with that big one up there. The nasty, tiny one, which has been causing me no end of trouble.
You almost need to make the little PCB like preloaded, bent the other way.
Yeah, so the spring is like facing down. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Holy shit. Holy shit. It looked like it held.
Okay, let's see. Hey.
Hey.
Okay, I think that's in there. Let me have a look. Oh, it's a multi-layer circuit board, isn't it?
Oh. Oh, the motherboard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it feels good.
Okay.
I don't know if it is good or not, but it feels good.
That's important.
Oh, and okay, we had it in place, and now it was a cold join.
Okay. Okay.
But I think the other one is fine so far. So let's pray that this will do.
the battery terminal one or the
The capacitor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the battery terminal one is the one that's still causing me
Right.
grief, but we should be just about there.
So it needs to be attached to the battery terminal to get power for the capacitors, I guess. Eh?
I guess, yeah.
Well, the whole circuit, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, yeah. So that means if it's being attached essentially in parallel, because it's assuming it's sitting on top of circuitry that already exists, and it's attaching itself direct. So it must be like a parallel circuit.
It's good.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, that's
It's
one down.
good.
Yeah,
That's
one
one
component.
down.
Shall we take a quick commercial break?
That was exactly what I was going to suggest. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back with more of this Game Boy extravaganza in just a few minutes. Don't go all the way away. Welcome back to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry here on the mighty loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name's Ian and I'm joined by Beej, and we are modding extensively a Game Boy Advance.
3 words, no D at the end.
Very
Thank you.
important.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
What we're going to do next is we're going to go into the next level of the soldering here and assume the Clean Amp Pro. I'm not sure what makes it Pro, but
It's because it's designed on the board like that. The other clean amps don't have that kind of weird, like, it's meant to be wired with wires.
okay.
Whereas the Pro version is like, we laid everything else out, so it should connect to all the components that are already there.
The slot-in module.
Yeah.
Now, this is another similar situation where we're going to be tinning some pads and then soldering next to it. So
That's literally, this is funny, this is literally the same speaker. WES 8 ohm 1 watt. It's the same speaker they have in there.
I believe that means we're going to be switching out the speaker too.
We can, and I think like is it wired right to the board?
The speaker?
Yeah, like is it well? Because I know it's wired to the board here. Is it wired to the clean amp or is it wired to the?
It is wired to the Clean Amp.
Oh, okay. So we're taking this one off, and then putting that on, and then soldering that to the IC.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
cool.
think is what we're about to do.
Yeah, that sounds
Well,
great
let's
to
get
me.
to it. I'm going to start by.
I like that you are turning this to a Game Boy Advance Advanced.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
The
Double
advanced
advanced,
version.
Double advanced.
Everyone has if you go online and you're looking for videos on YouTube and stuff, it always comes out to be like, GBA Ultimate. Like everyone always says like this is the ultimate mod, and which made looking for videos on how to do this and what to do really hard because everyone has a different idea of, well, this is what makes it the ultimate mod, because we're using this version of the screen thing, which is, and then you're like, wait, this video is like 4 years old. Oh, here's one that's newer. Oh, we're using this version of the screen thing, which is better. And I'm like,
Ultimater mod.
yeah, it's always,
Ultimate mod to final.
yeah.
Well, so there's a Japanese manga I like that solved this problem called Oishinbo. It's about a man who works for is a restaurant reviewer.
Right.
And the whole first series about it is just a fight between his particular magazine, which is creating the ultimate menu of Japan, and his rival magazine, which is creating the supreme menu of Japan. So the whole thing is Oishinbo, ultimate versus supreme.
Great. Oishinbo is, yeah, it's that gourmet manga.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't he start as a salaryman and then but he also liked food? Or am I thinking of the wrong dude? I might be thinking of I'm thinking of Salaryman Kintaro. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Okay.
Different guy.
Same idea of, this is a man who loves food and he eats it a lot and he has ideas.
Yeah, this one is the guy is the son of a famous, well, he's the son of his rival.
So it's like Drops of God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, did you solder that somehow to the mat?
No.
You can't.
Yeah, it turns out that flux is extremely sticky.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like, just put your finger on there.
Do I don't
You
think
don't,
I
you
should.
don't have to. You probably don't
I
want
don't
to.
know how thin my skin is at this point. I'm tired of taking chances.
Oh, yeah, and I'm pretty sure there's a California warning on
Oh,
this.
the Prop 60 or something,
Yeah.
or whatever they call it? Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna desolder your speaker here.
Sure.
In my own way. Just to say, yank.
Do you want me to hold a thing?
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
One.
other than my breath.
There's two.
Cool.
Here, have a speaker.
Old speaker. Great. Here, have a speaker.
Oh, thank you. Where does this go? Okay. So you connect to S1. And oh, this is nice. This is good.
It's very flat on the board.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time with this one.
Great. I cannot wait.
Okay. Oh, wait. So here's the thing.
Okay.
And, we have yes, we do.
We had 5 seconds there of happiness.
Everything's going to be great and easy, except for, let me just get this in position, this point right here.
That's dead center spot. Yeah.
Yep. That is a through hole via
Right.
that we're going to have to connect to.
Oh, but it doesn't line up quite right?
Oh, it does line up nicely.
God.
It's going to line up fine. It's just unpleasant placing.
It just had some weird revision that was like, oh, then the pad is off by about 1.5 millimeters. And it's like, oh no.
So I'm going to flex that whole area there, and I'm going to probably use that as my tack point, honestly.
Like start with that one and be like, it's in position and everything's perfect. So, or, okay.
I mean, that's probably not a good idea. You want to get...
Oh, right, because if it has to if it rotates slightly, then you're really screwed.
So let's go with those sides bits there.
Just put a screw through that hole there. That'll hold it in place.
Get some solder on there.
So that hole that Ian's doing right now, there's going to be a speaker on going through both of those holes that are there. So one of them he's doing.
No.
The speaker doesn't go through there.
No, the speaker now will be connected directly to this amp board.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's something else that's going to change about your design.
Okay.
But that looks like that's...
Oh, it's the two pads that are just ahead of that, just kind of north of that. Okay.
Going to get this one here too, because I think this one looks a bit...
Check out that sweet headphone jack.
Inky there. Let's add a bit more solder to the iron. Don't breathe it in, even though it tastes real good.
It's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Actually, you
good.
buy lead-free solder these days?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I like my solder to work.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I'm also not a multinational corporation and producing a lot of things.
That's fair.
And for hobbyists, I highly recommend just getting lead solder. Don't bother messing around. But do wash your hands.
Right. And when you solder and the smoke comes out, breathe out.
Yes.
You know, blow it around your house.
You're not just doing it to blow the to cool the thing. You're doing it for a reason of you don't want to breathe it in. Did you want to do one of these?
Yes, please.
Okay. I've done all of them really quickly,
Should I sit in your spot so I
Yeah,
have
that's
access
the
to the whole
easiest one.
station, or
and I'll let you know what you need to do.
please keep an eye on me?
Things happen pretty quick.
Okay.
What you're going to want to do here is you're soldering this thing to
Yeah.
S1.
And there's only that trace right there.
Yep.
That's it. Now, is there enough on it that if I just kind of like heat up and pull slightly?
You should just be able to pull and heat.
Okay. Should I hold the board?
I don't think you'll need to. You shouldn't be putting that much pressure on anything that you'll need to heat.
So we just kind of touch it, and in about a second, I should just be able to draw it over.
Yeah.
You know what I just realized? I have no depth perception.
Oh.
So we got to get real low.
Yeah.
I got to find an angle so I know I'm going to hit the fucking thing.
You want to try and touch both pieces of the solder and the contact point at once if you can. Looks like you're good.
Holy shit, did I do it?
I
Maybe?
probably did.
Maybe. You know what? Don't fuck around. I think I did it. I'm going to let you have a look at it.
Sure.
I'm gonna worry about soldering guitar cables from now on, and maybe not think so much about wanting to do this anymore.
Oh, this is some of the hardest stuff. So I'm going to test this, and I can do that because a little bit of it is unexposed there. And I'm just going to come in from the other side of S1, and you got a good contact. Yes. Nice join. Or at least successful join.
Yeah, successful join. It's ugly as sin.
Yeah, but you know, this is all being kept inside of a case. It's never going to move around. Don't drop this Game Boy.
Don't.
But that's it.
Great.
This one's done, I think.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
worry.
it just needs a speaker now.
Nobody's seen that one. Nobody will see it.
Yeah, no,
No
exactly.
one will see this whatsoever.
I mean, that's like when you weld stuff. It's like, don't expect to have like those perfect, like, what do they call them? Duck welds?
Oh, the beads? Or,
Yeah, it's like these beautiful, like, chunk, 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 chunk.
Yeah.
They look like pot stickers just all lined up and next to each other. So nice.
Oh, yeah, that stuff. Yeah.
And they're just like laid in, and it's like, yeah, good. Everyone's like, oh, beautiful welds. It's like, yes. But, okay, so I know now that, that I shouldn't use a table saw without supervision. And I know I'm probably not built to do a lot of like soldering like this. Yeah, flat screens and keyboards seem to be in my future, ladies and gentlemen.
I like that. Like you didn't realize that not being able to
See in
see in
3D?
3D will be an issue until you literally sat down.
Because I realized it's like, oh, everything's really close together. I just realized this. Oh no. But I mean, I am tempted to try a few more of these throughout the night, so we'll see how that goes.
If you're game, I might give you the wire here.
Oh yeah, do the speaker.
Yeah.
Okay. You're tinning both the speaker wires right now?
Trying to give a bit of a tin to them, but there's not much there.
Okay.
If you want to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be doing these 2 points here.
And they can go either way because that's how a speaker works.
I would recommend following their directions and putting the red to the right.
Red to the right.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, let's try this again.
And this one is going to be a little bit more difficult because you're going to want to put the wire on the dot, I guess.
On the pad, yeah.
And you can probably just push the wire into the blob of solder and then release without pulling the wire away.
And it's the top one here. Okay. It doesn't look like that pad is... oh, it's because it's these two down here.
Yeah.
Okay, I almost got them on the wrong ones.
That's okay.
So I put the wire next to it, and then heat it up, and do that.
Just give it a little tug. You'll be able to tell whether or not it's in there or not.
Oh yeah, it's pulling the whole thing with it.
Yeah.
And then now I have to do the black one.
So You might want a pair of tweezers for that.
Great idea. You have to
Maybe.
I have to hold them correctly. All right, let's see here. I think you're right, though.
And remember, those are walking tweezers, so once you've got it gripped, you can just let go of the...
Right. Then I'm just getting it in position.
Yeah, just focus on the position.
I don't know what for, but I think it's finger licking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Homecoming is a great movie.
Isn't it?
Or No Way Home is the new one.
Yeah, No Way Home's the new one. You're right. Oh, that feels awfully hot. Okay.
Oh yeah, I can confidently say to everyone out there in the internet land, go watch The Matrix.
Christ, I think I have. By Jove, I think I have
I
it.
bet you did. If you want to test, just flip that speaker around, and I think the wires are soldered on, or are they... No, they're not. Okay.
Okay. So I can't really test to the thing, but it looks like...
But yeah, if they're being held in there, then that's a
Yeah,
good.
They look like
that's
they're
a good
dancing
joint.
a bit. Okay. Okay. And then what'll happen is when this thing flips over, the speaker ends up back down in this position
Yeah.
over top of, I think, like, kind of floats in on top of here. I don't know if what this is for, because it's a ring, right?
Oh.
And I don't know if it's like a speaker retention ring where you put it around the upside edge and then actually attach that to the top of the case.
Yeah.
That might be what that's for. But
Let's hold on to that for final assembly.
sure.
Which is coming up soon because I think we're done with.
That's the amp.
Actually, yeah, if we're done with the amp, do we want to get the wires in place for the screen first while we're working on soldering the board?
Well, however we put them in, I think the wires are long enough that they'll be. I don't want to put undue pressure on them, right? So it's like as long as, I guess also in the directions they'll be like, yeah, put your wire in this way. You'll just see them put it in and be like, oh yeah, the wire just lies in like this, and you'll be able to see. Because I don't want it to be like the wire is going out east and it has to fold around and go back west if it doesn't need to.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they're all supposed to like go north and then spread out, it's like, well, then we should all solder them in so they kind of like spread out north, I
There
guess.
are only three.
Right,
wires
because you
in there.
only have to wire up 3 things.
Right. Select.
Select L and R and not the ground for some reason. But the ground pad is on there, but nobody ever wires it. In all the setups I saw, and I was like, I don't get why that is.
Well, I'm pretty sure that one of these pins on each side here is ground.
Yeah, so they probably put it in there as either as a testing thing or something.
So I'm betting that they prefer you to. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. I'll look at the instructions.
I feel like most people, when they're talking about wiring electronics, don't use compass directions.
No, you're probably right. Yeah, they're probably used more like, bow, astern, port, start.
Jesus.
Like, hopefully putting together a piece of electronics doesn't involve orienteering.
Yeah. I mean,
unless it's like a really big thing.
it could be like, anterior, ventral, dorsal, like it, there's all sorts of ways to think about it in a 3. That's what gets me about doctors, right? Is they not only have to they have to understand, this is the thing in the body, but then they have to also be like, oh, but it is the thing that is I'm doing this on the anterior side. I'm attacking this anterior vein on whatever. I'm coming after the, ventral this. And it's like, you have to know the position of things, and then you use those words to describe the position so that everyone knows. Because it's like my dentist is the same way. When they talk about teeth, they're like, oh, I need to get that on the distal. I need to get that on the buccal. It's like, what do those things mean? It's like, they don't have to mean anything to you. Don't worry about it. We know what they mean. The 1-4 has a problem. We're going to need to fill that. Okay, I see it.
It's I remember my physiotherapist was talking about having to do her, the thing with like learning all the different muscles and points and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And she was saying that the quick test is everything is named either by just a description of where it is,
right.
Like the thing that's attached to the arm but under the other thing, like the Latin name for a thing,
right?
Or the old white guy who was the first one who wrote it down.
Yes, the pouch of Douglas.
We'll do that. We'll tin that when it's in the case.
Okay. So if this is going to be assembly of components, I guess I'll begin the process of assembling
I
components.
think that's a great idea.
Okay. So let's start with what we got. I'll take the back off of this first. The dumb part is that this is a thing.
Oh wow, that's the
Yeah. So
that spray.
this is the thing is that they didn't. It's all blue everywhere except in tiny little spots where it's not blue.
Interesting.
And I don't know why the spray didn't adhere to the rest of the thing. I mean, the little bit of overspray, you try wiping it and it's like, it doesn't look like it wants to come off.
No, it's dried.
Yeah.
Maybe
so-
not cured.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't know why that is, and you can feel the actual difference. Like it's really, really like rough on the interior.
Oh, there's actually I think there's actually 2 different sets of
yeah, the
coating on there.
They say the treatment they used for this, it's a custom rubber thing that they came up with. That was like what they were going for. Is like, we made this thing. It's a custom kind of rubber setup, very different than anything else that's on the market. So they're like, we have the rights to this, and nobody else can be using it. So it's like, all right, cool.
It looks like a shadow. Like there was like a thing, like a couple of just
Yeah.
like pieces of something on top of it
Yeah.
when they were spraying.
So, I believe it's just a series of stacking things in place and then doing the screen as a part of it too.
That looks like it.
Okay, so if I get this right,
So do we know if we have the 32 pin or the 40 pin?
well, which one looks like? Oh,
We have the 40 pin.
we do?
I can tell you exactly why I know this.
Because there's a 40 at the end of the.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
So the 40 pin bend it seems to be the easiest bend.
And I guess that means that this thing, when it goes in, is going to go in like, how the fuck does this go in? The speaker has to, I thought the speaker was on this side. Maybe it's,
No, speaker's definitely there.
yeah. And that means that when this thing goes on,
Other side. Yep.
other side?
Because the pads for the up, down, left, right, your controls
Or on this side.
Yep.
Right.
So they need to be on the same side
Right.
as the actual.
That goes in like that. And then that means that this has to go in here.
Yep.
And then this has to go on top of that. Is that going to cause like a short if it
I don't think so.
contacts it? Huh. Okay.
But if you're worried about that, or if there, I mean, we're gonna have to do some troubleshooting anyway
You're right.
to make sure this is all working correctly.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
But yeah, I'm curious about your ring, where that goes.
Yeah, I don't have to put this down first because this gets screwed in last, right?
Could that ring be as an insulator between the?
Well, the back of the thing, it doesn't like it doesn't. I was worried that the back of the thing might be actually like the ground port or something like that, and the inner ring looks like it's supposed to. The ring looks like it's actually goes around the edge of the speaker to hold it to the inside of the speaker grill, which is right over here. All right. Well, if I start assembling,
Definitely adhesively backed
yeah.
on both sides.
Maybe I'll put these in last. We should really think about
Yeah. Screen is where we need to be.
right. So their thing is how to attach it to the motherboard, and then once it's all attached to the motherboard, then you start laying the screen in, and then you start laying all the other things around it,
Actually,
and then everything starts going into the they put the gasket in, right?
yeah.
So here's the gasket.
Yeah, it looks like you attach this to the LCD and then put the whole thing in as an assembly.
Okay.
And then last, yeah, because the screen needs to be in the case before you attach it to the motherboard.
Okay. So the gasket has to go in.
Yeah, so it looks like this is the actual first stage of the,
Oh, they're saying do all the LCD assembly outside.
yeah.
Okay.
And then,
So we should maybe do that then. We'll start with the LCD.
Beach, did your mic fall down your
oop, yep.
shirt or something?
It did. Yeah, it somehow got caught. I'll just slide it down a little bit more. How's this? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have this thing which has a piece of removable film on it, which is great.
We'll do that later.
Yeah. And we have a tiny little,
Connector. Oh, I love those connectors.
so small. Oh no. Okay. And so this thing needs to attach to that.
Yep. So you need to flip that over.
Like this or like this?
Like that.
Okay. We have a shot. Should we get a better shot, or are we? I'll let Paul decide what needs to be done. I'm not going to have to interfere with that anymore. Okay, so little tiny connector, little tiny.
Ooh, you're going to get a very, very satisfying click out of that.
Yeah. If it's lined up properly, then yes, I am.
Might be easier to do it from the other side.
Yeah, I think you're right. I might even be able to do it with my.
Oh yeah, with your thumbs.
Okay, let's make sure that is that missed. It does just pinch, right? That's what it's for?
I believe they're just, yeah, they should just click together.
Yeah. This is bad TV. Oh,
I heard that.
yeah.
There we go.
Okay, that is definitely on there.
Okay. Now it wants you to add a piece of double-sided tape.
Right, because it wants you to fold
up.
it.
Yep.
So we need tape to hold it in position so it doesn't flop around a whole bunch, I guess is the idea.
Were we provided with any of that?
No. Let me go see what I can...
Wait a second.
If you use the centerpiece of that, it would probably work as double-sided tape.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Shall we do this?
It is a little thick because it's a gasket, but I mean, it might be fine. So,
Let's have a look.
yeah.
Come on.
I mean, we could take the outer ring off and we could place it on the inside of this because you were supposed to.
Let's
and
do
then
that
we,
first.
then we leave the other piece. So how am I supposed to center this?
The gasket goes in, peel the back side of the LCD cushioning foam and apply it to the G.
That's not what this is, right? That doesn't look like LCD cushioning foam. I mean, but it is.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what it is.
All right.
That should peel off. Because there's nothing else that could be.
Yeah, it's just a big rubber gasket. The only thing I think it is, I mean, it might be for these, because there's one on the back of this one. Where's my other one?
Where is your other one?
I had two.
Oh,
Oh, there
right
it
there.
is. I'm an idiot.
And else that
It
one
has
also
it
has two. So
Okay,
okay.
so maybe this, maybe I don't need to put this in here because this piece is supposed to go in.
No, because this is going to come from the other side.
It goes on the front.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So
Yeah.
something needs
This
to go
this is what
behind.
keeps that gap between
Right.
your two sides.
That is what we want, right? We want a gap in there.
I mean, yeah. You don't want your.
These little notches, but they don't line up with anything. That's what made me wonder. I'm like, do I actually need to use this? Also, is it the right size? Let's just handle it a lot so the adhesive goes away.
Yeah, people. Adhesive loves oil.
Mm-hmm. If there's one thing I have a lot in my skin, it's oil, right? Shit, I don't think this is the right size for this. Because, oh, maybe it is. Well, it just has a little bit of black hanging out over the edge.
That shouldn't be right.
Right? Like, it should be either perfectly fit or nothing at all.
Although not
Not necessarily, you think?
Well, no, not necessarily because this has a black covering as well.
Yeah.
So
I know it's probably very hard to get a shot here with this, but okay. If I was to do that, God, it really just does not want. There's a nice little stick, which is helping me kind of keep it in place. But let's see if this is actually what this is for. Yeah, it's not the right size.
Wow, that's
It comes out the black piece. Maybe easier to see from the top down. I don't know, but you can kind of see that there is a black ridge along the bottom. That black ridge on the inside of the screen is that 3M whatever. So
Could it be like rotated? Like if you like, should it be the other way around?
well, I'm wondering if what this was for something like because if I rotate the other direction, the top is not thick enough, right? You can see how the top the piece that's on the bottom is quite thick. The piece that's on the top is quite thin. Hard to tell a little bit from that top down there. Maybe on the wing camera.
That's moved.
Oh. Let's flip it so it's actually the right way around.
I'm curious
both
about
can
some
focus
things
on the
here.
bottom. Yeah. It doesn't go in from behind then.
No,
right?
it doesn't, but I don't think it matters. I think that it's fine that it's going around it's farther than the edge because, as you can see,
Ah.
the black bezel is actually even
Yeah, show that off.
even.
The black bezel actually, when it will be on the front, it would literally cover a piece of the screen from all edges.
The black bezel is smaller than this
Right.
this out hole.
Okay. So then I'm just gonna try to.
Oh, in
tap
fact, you can just see it right on this side. There's about that much
space.
space on the bottom,
Yeah,
which, if you flip that over,
yeah, is gonna be.
looks almost exact. Yeah, the
Yeah.
space, the overlay matches. it.
Okay, okay. I think I could probably stand to get this over a little bit more though. So, oh, maybe I can't.
And presumably that's just what a GBA like. It's just the bezel on the. Like
Yeah.
that's not because of this mod. Like a GBA has a little black bezel around it too,
Yeah.
probably.
Now they also, I don't know if do they say that you should actually use the sticker or like actually
Oh, they
use the
say that
gasket?
you absolutely have to.
Okay,
But
because you
it
have to
is-
hold the thing in place.
It is part of this is part of the point of no return.
Okay. When you start doing this, then it means that hey, you're about to attach a screen to this thing, and
That's
you better hope
forever.
it works because if it doesn't work, you're never going to get the screen clean again.
Yeah.
Hey, who has 2 thumbs and no fingernails?
And they were the double-sided tape they're using appears to be pretty thick stuff too. So
Okay, so we could just use.
I think we can just use this gasket stuff. I'm gonna
God
make a little
damn it.
strip of it.
Ian, do you have anything sharp I can use to try to separate the one thing from the other thing here? Because I'm not able to get the paper to.
I
Separate.
mean, we got this.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh, do you want to get rid of the?
I'm fine if the paper doesn't separate, but I mean the problem is that the paper if you just said the paper needs to adhere
Right.
to the thing.
But let's not do that just yet until we're ready to put the screen
Sure.
in.
Also, I thought the idea of like having this, which is it's a weird clear thing. It's the spacer, is that this is supposed to take up a spot, and that you're also supposed to use these 2 things to provide
Added support.
some sort of like put this thing here and put this other thing on the other side, like that kind of thing, because these 2 pieces are supposed to. It's very hard to see. I get, but these 2 things here are supposed to be like they fill in the gaps so the thing can't slide around. And if that's the case, it's like, well, then do you actually need to stick it down or not? But I mean, if it's saying you have to do it, then you have to do it. But
I would recommend doing it anyway.
yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, that's thick stuff.
So from that thing of gasket, you only actually need the outside bit.
Yeah, because when this comes in here, give me 1 second. When this actually comes into the place, yeah, the whole screen is not visible anyway, I believe. Yeah, okay. You only need the outside of it.
Okay. Do you want me to apply the?
Yeah, because you can probably get it off with your fingers. Oh wait, no, the thing was already there, right? It's a lot easier.
Well, there's the other side too, but
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Don't make me look like this in front of Beej. My favorite is when you actually get to the point where you're... Oh, you know what I could just do is I could put it down here.
Right, and then try to peel up the other piece.
Okay, and then we'll use this to just very carefully lift the adhesive edge.
And get that paper right off.
There you are. Yar.
Yar.
How many brownies did you eat? 12. Okay. How close? Adhere the adapter, keeping the top and bottom as flush as possible. As flush as possible.
So yeah, it's. I mean, it has to do a complete. Oh, the thing, the power connect, the power connector, the data connector, the connector for the LCD screen, has to fold all the way around to the back.
Whew. I think I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think that's correct as well. Yeah, I'd be happy with it too.
Good, because
Yeah.
that's where it is.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay, bracket.
Okay.
Apply a strip of double-sided tape along the bracket.
So we're like, next step. Before
So-
you put the double-sided tape on,
Now, is this the thing where you have to drill out your case?
Later there is a case drilling, yes.
Okay. So these are supposed to be designed. This thing is supposed to be designed that you wouldn't need this specific bracket, which is why I didn't buy one, because we're not doing any shell trimming. So I might need to find the different directions that have to do with how to put this thing into an already cut out
Okay.
case. Let me just have a look here.
Grab here.
Yeah.
Because it's already got the cutout. Which is... Oh, just on the side there.
All right, I'm going to go back to what I was looking at before, and then I'm going to go to Retro 6's own channel, and I'm just going to have a quick look to see if they have how they. Of course they don't. Do they have a screen install thing? Because, I mean, though maybe why would they, right? Because it's like, hey, you just drop it in and you're done. Why do you need us to tell you how it's done? It's like, just because there are people like me out here who are just trying to get by. Okay. Let me see if I can find a funny playing IPS kit install GBA.
Oh. There we go. That looks like that's correct.
Dealers.
So here's why I think this is correct for this particular one.
Mm-hmm.
If you put the bracket in like this, it fits perfectly along the bottom edge with that
Right.
curve,
Right.
and also up there, and then I bet that one of either of these two things
Is meant to fill a hole.
go along the side here, probably. Probably not that one.
Retro 6 installation guides.
Probably that one. But we'll find out. For real.
Come on, baby. Load.
And for the rest of our lives.
You know, we have really good internet here at the moon base. So the fact that things aren't loading off these guys' website.
Oh, it's a UK site, right? So
Yeah.
it's past the watershed.
Oh, that's a good point. Right. Yeah, they have to. Everything that has a curse word in it, they have to be careful. It's going to be like, I'm going to read the article and boobs are going to come on the screen. We can finally show those. And it's like, okay, great.
But the problem is that you need to let people know that other boobs are available.
Yep, that's right. You don't have to just rely upon that one. Yeah, the Advanced Prestige shell is IPS ready for GBA LCD backlight mods. Everything is supposed to fit in the Prestige case, which is what I have. But come on, guys. Your support site is not loading at all. I thought I had the right guide, so. Let's try loading again.
What's the site?
Support.retro6, six.co.uk. No idea why my phone is refusing to load it. Because I swear when I looked, it was like, people were like, yeah, you put the thing in here, and then this happens, and you're done. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I don't need a bracket? And then, you don't need a bracket. And it's like, okay. But, you know, it comes with pieces, and it's like, so something has to go in there, obviously.
That redirects to retro6.wiki.
Oh, cool. So maybe I'm just not getting to the thing. Well, if that's the case, .wiki, Safari cannot open. There we go. Okay. I don't need a YouTube. I just need your.
Please show us pictures and words.
Yeah.
We're doing the video right now.
What the Christ, guys? Okay, Game Boy Advance, schematics, board scans, how the power thing works, IPS TFT screen upgrades.
Great.
Did this page help you? Well, nothing is loaded in it. It is literally just practically a white screen. They're just setting up their wiki. That must be what's going on.
Oh, down below. That's
Game Boy
Color. Ugh.
So if I go browse again, does anything load on this site? Let's find out. How about the Clean Amp audio amplifier? And the DHUM kit? I got lots of information there. I guess they're probably just moving over to this new wiki and not everything's there yet.
Huzzah.
Which page are you trying to get to?
Retro 6. I'm on the Retro 6 wiki, and I went to browse Game Boy Advance repair schematics. All it shows is DHUM and DHIS. It has a schematics page that has a PDF in it. So I'm like, okay, none of that works. So then I went to Retro 6 products on the wiki, and there's a IPS TFT screen upgrade. And when I tap that, it just takes me to an empty thing that doesn't show me anything beyond. It's like, here's how you trim the shell. And I'm like, I don't want to trim the shell. Do I have to go through like multiple of these? Game Gear. Come on. Clean use battery upgrade. Yeah, okay. So it's not there. I can get to the one that shows how to do the Pocket, one that shows how to do the Game Boy Color, but not one that shows how to do the GBA. GBA Retro 6 case, IPS screen install. I kind of want to type in .pdf. Game Boy Advance IPS. Is this the same tutorial?
V2, right?
Yeah, this is the V2 one.
Good, got it.
The retro modding one, is that the one you're looking at?
Yeah,
Yes.
Ian's on the retro modding one. I'm on the handheld legend one. And for whatever reason,
This is the same one.
view static version. What is going on with this screen? Oh my God. You can't click anything on the screen because the support thing is top dead center. What are you doing, guys? Skip the case mods with a pre-modified shell. Right, but then what goes in the thing? Okay, well, forget it. I'm going to jump back. And then there's this thing, which I bought. This is the shell.
Like it sounds like if you've got the pre-modded shell, you just don't do the just skip that step.
Yeah, I don't need the L-shaped bracket, right? It's like, so if I don't need the L-shaped bracket, then yeah, it is. I would assume it's just
I thought it was just skip the cutting the
Yeah.
shell step.
Yeah, but you still need the brackets then.
I'm pretty certain that you do need one of these brackets.
Okay.
No, stop making noise.
Initial screen test. Install the screen.
Here.
The Nintendo Game Boy Advance case modified for IPS LCD has been updated and spacers are no longer provided or required. Oh, this is how they do theirs. You just take the big one and put it at the bottom below the stuff, and then you take this one and put it at the side. Is it the same for that one?
I'm finding out. So he has to build his own gasket,
Right.
which seems odd.
And he's just pushing it into the upper left-hand corner. It looks like it just fits.
Ah, nope, he's got a bracket. Ah!
Okay. So,
So-
there's a bracket that goes
And then
in the
this
back of
bracket
it.
goes on that side.
Okay,
like
so
that.
then that piece has to come out of that corner, I guess. Yeah, both those pieces come out of the corner. Installing the screen. Take the adhesive foam pad, adhere to the front casing as shown as possible. Center section of the adhesive pad set aside will be required later. Adhesive backing, place the clear spacers, highlighted in pink. Hard against the other walls of the casing. Right, you don't need them because newer cases apparently don't require that kind of crap.
Yeah, and in fact, this doesn't need those spacers because it's got a bracket edge right there.
So is it literally
I think we just peel it out.
put this thing in the upper corner like this,
Yeah, upper left corner.
just like that. It doesn't have much room. It has a little bit of room.
In
to move
fact,
around, doesn't it?
oh, now I know why they want us to put the double-sided tape on the bracket.
Right,
So that way, when we put this on here, it sticks.
right.
And it's lined up here because it's hard against both those edges.
Ah.
Now it cannot go in any way except perfect.
Right. Okay. So do you peel this thing back first and then put the screen in on top of it, so that it's stuck to this, and then you stick the bracket to it as well?
I think we follow the instructions so far. We stick this to the bracket as is, then peel
Okay,
this, and then put
okay.
that in and put it in this way.
Where is that in the thing? Right, because it's a completely different kind of bracket, right?
Yeah. But it serves the same function of making sure that it's in there in the space that it's supposed to be, because that bracket can't go in any other way. And in fact, it just barely fits. Like if you put that in there,
If we dry fit everything.
yeah, if you put that in, well, you need to get that up there and hold that in place, because you've got to push it to the left a bit and then get this in the correct.
Orientation.
Yep.
And so then no matter what, this just kind of fits in.
Yep. Because it's there we go. And now it's solid in there.
Right.
Oh, not quite. Needs to go over to the
Because
left.
it can
a bit
slide. It can slide this way, but it's not supposed to. I think it's supposed to
Yeah.
go all the way to one side.
more, because that's why you're supposed to chunk it in there.
What's
so that,
this? So does the bracket actually have an edge on it?
Yes, yeah, it has a hard edge on both two sides.
Oh, neat.
So that
I
it's
see.
not just it's a positioning bracket in
Okay.
addition to a support.
Okay.
I think.
Well, because the problem is that who did I get the bracket from? Did I get it from Funny Playing? Because if I did, it's a completely different style of bracket than we've seen.
That would be why.
Yeah. Funny Playing.
It's a good bracket.
Yeah. I mean, so the kit, all they show is one thing, and it's like, so you get a centering glass lens, which is the
It's the lens.
which is the lens you have. It comes with a IPS LCD, which we got, a ribbon, yes. 3M custom installation tape, yes. Centering glass lens, which is the glass lens, which is, I thought it was the centering LCD thing. It doesn't say anything about 2019. Replace 3D printed fixing bracket with acrylic fixing strip. What did you guys send me then? What of this did I? And they don't have any pictures of here's how it all goes in, either. So, but I thought they have support options. Maybe they have a thing. Explore, FAQ. No. How about Help
So,
Center?
so the trick is here that the screen that you have is not from Retro 6.
No, right, because what Retro 6 has done is Retro 6 has built a case that allows you to put these screens inside.
Right.
But the way that they've built them is like they haven't built the case to be a flush fit to the screen. They've built it so that it's like when you get the glass lens in front of it, like when that thing sits in there, that fits perfectly.
Yeah.
And then the screen itself, which is a little larger than the viewable area, has to be installed so it's right in the spot where it's supposed to be, because it's the ribbon, Funny Playing has programmed it to be like, draw to the screen at these orientations and lose these lines of the screen.
Right.
It's overscan. Thing.
Yeah.
And there's slightly, and they can't make it exactly because there are slightly different versions of the screen that may be needed.
Is that this is the version of the screen they have that is the proper size of the screen. So it's like, okay, but how do I, when it comes down to what corner do I align it on? Am I aligning it when I have the case open like this? Am I aligning it so it's aligned to the upper left? Am I aligning it to the upper right? With that bracket, it seems to be.
It aligns to the upper right.
Yeah, because it's like that thing provides space on the upper left and the bottom. So you're like, so the screen has to then sit here if that's how that's supposed to work. And I'm like, that's such a perfect thing
Yeah.
that I'm like, I would be hard pressed to think that that's not the thing you're supposed to use there. Like I feel like
kind of love it.
it just kind of holds everything in place, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like there you are.
Yeah, it's not moving around. It's not going to do anything else.
Yeah, and in fact, it gives it nice support in the back.
Almost like it doesn't even need to have tape in place as long as like if the motherboard or something else was holding this LCD bracket in place, it has no room to move.
And it probably will. So here's the thing, Beach.
Yeah.
We can do this without.
Taking any of the stickers. And,
Yeah, we don't have to take the adhesive off. And in fact, I don't think we need to adhere this bracket to the back of the case either.
Okay.
So maybe we just do that. In
Okay.
which case, what we're going to do is we would just peel this off
Yeah.
and then put it in. But let's not do that just yet.
Right,
Let's
'cause-
find out what we need to do first.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like get the glass screen in there, pop the center out, right? Get it in place so that when this thing goes in, it sandwiches between there, and it's like it's clean on that side, it's clean on this side. They go in, and we're not going to see them move anymore. And then hopefully we don't have any dust between the two.
That's what we're definitely going to check. That's why I would also suggest not putting this on until the last thing you do.
Right? Okay.
Because that way you have a chance to check the front, look for dust, spray it anyway if you want to, and then
Okay.
check the back side of your other side, check for dust. Maybe do it in the bathroom after you've had a shower to make sure there's no dust. And then,
But I really do want to do it tonight, so I don't want to have to go home and take a shower and do everything else first. I think I'm confident that we can probably get it all done tonight if we're like, okay, peel this off and go, stick, go, chink, peel, stick, okay, done. It's all together.
well, at this point, it's suggesting that it wants us to solder these positions. So
Time to do that.
I guess I will do that.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put something in between there, just a little bit of metal, just to protect the screen.
Sure.
Actually, you know what? I'll do the.
Use the big piece of paper.
Yeah, I'll use the. Because that way, I worry about the metal also sucking heat away from the soldering iron.
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
These kind of console mods are fascinating because it's like taking something that somebody did, some brilliant hardware hacker
Yep.
did this thing, and then other people have been like, okay, how do we mass produce this like weird prototype thing that this guy made?
Well, this is very.
Can we remake it so that other people can do it?
This is very similar to what gearheads do with their cars. Swapping engines, swapping wheels, headlights.
Yeah.
Like putting a V6 Honda engine in a Mini is something that is now so well understood.
Right.
If you're familiar with how to use the tools, it's not even a difficult proposition.
Yeah, when you have people who are like being like, okay, I'm doing X thing, we have an ECU now that supports this, where it used to be like, oh, we used to have to do it all and hand tune it all, and we have to build our own brackets, and it's like, yeah, and now you can go online, you can just order the thing that mates a Honda engine, probably the whole transaxle, to your drivetrain, to the rest of the drivetrain, I guess. But yeah.
I remember when I was in university, I was just like hanging out in the common room, and there was a couple of guys talking about cars, and I was struck by, how that conversation sounded exactly like people talking about, their sweet modded or computer rigs, their gaming rigs or whatever.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, the car guys are supposed to be cool, whereas computer guys.
I mean, I always thought that computer modding was way more interesting because I was part of the computer generation, obviously, right? We could be building our own computers from scratch, but I always thought it was way more interesting too because I'm like, I can go buy some cards and a motherboard and all the other pieces that I need, and in the course of about 6 hours, I can have everything done. If I'm like really taking my time and I'm checking stuff and then I'm doing the installation of drivers and doing like all these other kind of things, it's like you can do this in the course of an afternoon and have an entire working thing that you started with nothing. Whereas a car guy is like, you want to make a car from scratch? I hope you've got a few months.
I mean, it all depends on how much, by scratch you want to do. I mean, computers are at the point now where they are pretty much, plug all the stuff in. I mean, obviously, stuff still does go wrong often.
Yeah.
But it's, a relatively set up thing.
Neat. That came together great.
Yeah, that was an easy thing to do. I should have made you do that.
Yeah. Oh,
well.
Yeah. I mean, we're here now.
I need to look good at something here.
Yeah, and you really flew through that, so that was great.
Okay, so we've got that in there. I think the next step is to mount it in the GBA case.
Oh, to get this thing actually in there?
Yeah, which to my mind, means that we don't take off the paper because we're not going to
stick it.
But we do want to take off the protective front end, right?
Yeah, have they already peeled it off?
Well, then, yeah, that stage is you peel off that front and then you stick it to the adhesive.
Careful to secure the LCD to the shell. Be cautious, don't use excessive force. It's very fragile. And they're just like, okay, that's fine. Okay, so then it's like, yeah, spray the display with compressed air, rid of any debris, and apply the lens. So they're saying install your display, then install your lens.
Yeah.
So they're saying do all that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I'm thinking, actually,
Yeah,
what I would
yeah.
suggest, can someone toss me some tape?
Scotch?
Actually, gaff would probably work better, or scotch. Yeah, gaff would be better, just because I think we want a good hold that will remove. Thank you.
Here we go.
Or small?
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
Actually, I can make small out of this. Perfect. Okay. 1, 2, 3 of those strips. And what we're going to do here is we're going to grab one of these and just...
You want to dry fit the lens in place?
Yeah, just for testing purposes.
Do you want to actually take the lens out of the plastic, or do you want to?
yeah.
If we do that, we could put masking tape on it, and that way it might. Well, gaff should be fine, right? We don't need painter's tape for this.
No, do you have any particular...
Wait, we might need painter's tape for this because I don't know what it's going to do to the plastic. Like if the gaff is going to like peel any of the treatment off of the. It shouldn't.
Oh, I'm not planning on taking the front plastic off.
No, but I'm thinking about if you're going to tape this thing to the case, and we try to peel the gaff off the case,
Oh.
and it takes paint or anything with it.
Right.
Then I'm like, I got to give this thing to my wife.
You would be very unhappy with
Yeah,
that.
so if we have like painter's tape or like paper masking tape or something, that might be okay. I don't know. Something like a very weak adhesive. And I think Paul has already, I'm saying all this to fill in time while Paul is looking around to see if he can find something that is, I know where the Scotch tape is. Like I could go get that too, but that's also not a weak adhesive, so.
Oh, you know what is a weak adhesive? This.
Oh, hey, okay. It's just it's a tiny bit sticky still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some masking tape. I don't see any painters.
Okay. Well, let us. We'll hang on to that over here. Oh yeah, this is probably also pretty weak. Let's. Yeah, that's pretty weak. So we can use this if we want to as well.
Great. Let's just use that then.
Okay.
There's some electrical tape here too.
Let's peel that piece off.
Great.
And here's another piece if you need to center it. And here's another piece because I'm peeling tape now. So, oh, why don't I just do another one? Okay, let's just do another one.
Okay. Seems good.
Isn't this
Stop.
fun?
Stop. No. Too much tape. Too much tape.
So all we need to do is just hold this on so that we can test it, and then you can make that and then you can make it adhering this the last thing you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
God, that glass screen though, like as something that isn't the.
You also use a fresh screen. Here, why am I doing your job?
Yeah. I will go ahead and put all this stuff in place, and do it in a way that at least I'm on camera for somehow.
So first off is peel the.
We're gonna peel that. We're gonna peel this back, and we're gonna put it in.
Yep.
Like this,
Thusly.
thusly.
Okay.
And it slides around a bit, but that's okay because we have this thing,
Yeah, you're going to push this as hard as you can up to the upper right.
just like that, and it's gonna sink into place.
Well, you're going to push the. You're going to need to push that LCD screen to the upper left. Really
Like
tough.
that way. So this snaps in.
You do not snap it.
Okay. You just kind of, there we go.
Yep.
Just kind of, it's really, this is a good little bracket. It just wants to settle itself, so when you give it a push, it's like, it just kind of friction flush fits itself.
Extremely
Yeah.
precision.
Holy crap.
Good.
That's super nice.
I like it.
Okay. So that's a great start.
Okay, now we connect the motherboard.
Right. Which means I should probably have all the other pieces in first. Right? Because the
Yes.
motherboard's going to go over top.
Well,
or we can just connect the motherboard to it.
Yeah, get the pieces in there first.
Okay. If it looks like it's going to be we don't need to put them all in, obviously, but so some new satin look things. Make sure that
Lovely.
they only go in one way anyway, so I don't have to worry about, oh, you've got them wrong. It's like, well, no, not really. And a new one of those. Yeah.
Also non-directional. Good.
Yep. Probably don't need to worry about the L and R buttons.
Do the buttons say A and B on them?
They do.
They do.
But they only fit one way, which is really nice.
Yeah, Nintendo did a good job with the assembly.
Yeah.
That one I think you install from the other side.
Yeah. Is it go on there? It's gonna. Yeah. Okay. We'll figure that out. That's the power. That's the volume, which means the power switch goes down here, and it's ultimately going to be like that.
Okay.
Okay. So it feels good, man. Probably don't need these things on the side or the L switches or this. The motherboard can go in on top first.
Are you intending to test this first?
I think we should.
Okay. I mean, we still need to get it all hooked up.
I
but-
also then need to get power running to it, which will be a trick because
Is this not charged?
I don't know.
Ah.
Yeah. So we can use this as a means of testing the power because if I get this on there, once it's in place, once this is in place, the power should flow. I think I have to probably pull it out before we can get the contacts into that case. But we are going to use this case ultimately. It's all going to move
Okay.
over into there. So I guess I could just take that out for right now because
Yeah, just swap it into the blue case.
Might
I'm
as well.
sure it has some power.
yeah, I would say so. There's all those things.
Could we just put the batteries in?
Yeah, we could do that too. We could use the old back of the other thing, but yeah, that is an option. How the frig do you get this out? I was having trouble keeping it in. So it's got,
Flip it over and give it a push with something.
yeah, let's just try giving it
That is not as.
I mean, it's good to know that it just wants to, oh, it's probably also because of it's because of this fucking thing.
Ah,
That's the other piece, the bridge.
that's.
Yeah.
Do we need this?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
but we might want to hold on to it.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it turns out that I need that in order to make the, in order to keep this thing in position, there we go. That's the issue. So these things have hooks on them,
Aha. Yep.
and because they're hooked, that keeps it from coming all the way out.
Springs.
Yeah. But this might have some charge on it still. It even has double-sided, double-coated tape, but I'm probably never going to use that. So.
Generally, you have to, or you should store your batteries at 80% charge. So I'd assume that it's probably at 80%.
Yeah, makes sense. So now we put this inside, and because so the way that the board works, I don't think we've ever shown anybody how this board works. The way that the board works is it has a contact here and a contact here, and no contacts on this side because it doesn't need them because the board is providing all the juice to the actual things that take the juice. They don't need the other side of the...
Directly into it.
Exactly. So there is already one of those things in here, and it would probably... Having it in there, I'm sure, is nice because it's like, oh, that means that there's a piece of something that's keeping pressure on the battery, and it's also kind of keeping this thing in place as well.
Keeps it in one space.
So that's probably okay if it's like that. But it does mean that when we go to install the motherboard, that needs to get clear of this. And so maybe the battery has to go in absolutely
I think it
last.
has to. Yep. That sounds right.
Okay. So we have to lift this from this side a hair. And it feels like once this thing is in, getting to the back of it is going to be a real bitch. So, come on, you prick. Come on. Why won't you come out? Slide this way. The other one sure wanted to come out. Let's just give it a push from that side and see if that doesn't help it.
I'm absolutely covered in Kapton tape.
Come on, baby.
There's got to be an easier way.
I know, right? Because it's like getting it out the back, it seems like it shouldn't take that much fiddling. Because if I have to get this off, 8 screws out, this thing comes off, I guess the batteries come with it.
Yeah, I feel like you could probably lift it from the other end. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't matter. But we have a battery we can most likely test with.
Yes.
Okay.
Should we solder up the wiring? Ooh.
Good. All right. Sticky, sticky. Let's test it.
Yeah, let's make sure the screen works first.
Yeah. Okay.
So that means
In order to keep all this together,
you're going to want to...
we need to let's attach this to the motherboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's yes. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Okay. So it goes in like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see about
Aligning
yeah.
the ribbon. I love these ribbon cables because they're generally very tolerant.
And they only want to go in the one way anyway. So.
Yeah. You just have to be gentle with them.
Trying to also make this a bit of a good show for everyone who's watching. I think I've got it all the way in.
Okay. Lock those tabs.
Trying to. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't have it all the way in. If I do that. There we go. Okay.
Hey.
Lock that one tab. Lock the other tab.
Okay.
Okay. So now, if we take the battery and somehow attach it to this, so it makes contact. Oh God, I wish we had a portable power supply for this.
Me too.
Yeah. Can I touch it to the underside? No, not really. I mean, that will work, but
May I get my hands in there?
Yeah. You get your hands in there.
I think I have an idea of how to do this. What we want to do?
Because the other option is we get 2 AA batteries and we just stick a shell back on and give it a go. Because we can do that.
Yeah. I don't think we need to do that just yet. Just do this.
As long as it's touching both the things.
Yeah, which it is not yet. There we go.
Pressure.
No, that's not in there. Okay, I think we put a case back on the back. Actually, before you do that.
Yep, I'll get some AA batteries.
Just want to make sure that my wires get... How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, actually, I feel really good about everything we've done so far.
Good.
Even though that I know that it's like, what we're about to do might reveal that this entire screen exercise is not working.
Can you give me that masking tape? Just the strip. Thank you. Just need a bit.
You're trying to keep those wires from grounding out?
Well, not so much grounding out, just keeping them from getting caught when we do the sub-assembly.
Makes sense.
Okay. Get that covered up over there. Make sure we're not jamming anything that shouldn't be jammed. Is this in enough? Yes, but where's the speaker jamming up? Nope, that's in the right position. Okay, everything's good, feels like. The buttons don't, but that's because you didn't get the...
They didn't put the membranes in yet, no. So they actually can't attach to any, they can't show anything. We basically, all we get to do is just flip the switch and see what happens.
That's all we need.
God willing, that's all that needs to happen.
Oh, where's that switch?
Right here.
Great. Let's take it off. Good catch.
I need to get it over that,
Yep.
so it can do that. Great.
And then you can get your case in.
And we put the case. Come on, come on. Don't be a dink. I'll move over here a bit. What are you mad at? Case.
What's on that? There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
That's nice and tight.
Get some batteries in.
In the right way round. Okay.
All right.
Holy shit.
Hey!
Hey!
Should I put it down?
Game Boy!
Game Boy.
Okay.
Now we had no audio. I don't care.
Bam.
Shit's real loud.
Yep. And of course, probably the reason we weren't hearing any hiss was because of the de-hissing, because the audio was all down all the
Yeah.
way. Okay, well, it looks good.
It looks great.
Let's solder.
Holy shit.
Let's solder that brightness up and get this buttoned down.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Mm.
All right, nice to have a victory so far.
Gage, I'm excited.
There's something viscerally satisfying about that. Bring!
Yeah, right. If there's any way we're gonna celebrate a good time being had.
Do you mind if I clean up a bit of your work here too?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, we still have to do a few other things on here.
But I do want to get that ribbon cable a little bit more in there.
I mean, with it hooked up and working, we need to solder the wires to the. You probably don't want to have the motherboard attached while we're doing it. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, I guess no. We need to have it attached because yeah. Yeah, soldering the brightness connector is the next step.
There we go. I just wanted to even out your ribbon cable
Yep.
insertion. All right.
Watch it not work.
Yeah.
You'll be so mad.
So theoretically, now that with the new screen and
The audio mods?
audio and stuff,
Yeah.
if you were using just like the regular batteries, would it have like way less battery life because the new screen is like super bright and everything?
Yeah. Apparently, yeah. That the amount of juice that you can get because of the IPS screen, specifically the IPS screen, does use more juice on standard alkaline AA's, which is why they do recommend move to the rechargeable set, because you'll notice that. What did they say? Like 14 hours or 18 hours or something really good, but they're like, but if you just use standard batteries, you'll get like maybe 6. And it's different than.
But then you gotta have that battery pack.
Yeah, exactly. So having that's what they mean is using a lithium-ion battery pack, which is basically like a cell phone battery kind of idea. You know, using that, you get that 14 hours out of, because there's just so much more juice in that little pack.
Oh boy, this is a tiny one.
Okay.
So select. I need to grab the select. That is the bottom one here. Top one on the row.
Try to give everybody a chance to see what it is you're doing, but I guess it's not
Yeah.
going to show up very
It's
well.
going to be this little wire here. It's just going to touch that area, and I'm going to just.
It's trying to attach it to TP2 for those following along at home. I'm guessing that means test pad 2.
Probably.
Probably.
If you have wires attached to your TP, you should be highly suspicious.
Okay, so that's good. Now I'm done on that. I'm done on that side.
Oh, good. And we know that the motherboard and the speaker don't make any sort of deleterious contact with each other. The speaker just rides in its hole, and probably to cut down on the rattling is why they gave me this little double-sided ring. So I attached this. Hard to see, I know, but this little double-sided ring that they gave me, I think is supposed to go on the outer ring of the speaker on top, and you stick that into the then that gets stuck into the into the speaker well. And then that way it's like you don't hear it rattling around or anything. It's just like that now is just going to stick there, and it's okay that it sticks there. It's just so nice to have like.
Nice things.
Well, it's just so nice to be like, oh my God, the soldering worked, and the you know, and so far like I know there's more stuff to do obviously, but it's like, but it'll be fine. We'll get through all that. So yeah. And I think I only got the one extra set of screws. I don't remember getting 2 sets of screws with this. Wait, maybe I did get 2 sets of screws.
Okay, so
I did. Okay.
So these are
Hopefully you have the same number of screws as you started with.
these are going to be extremely fragile wires. So
Yeah.
be aware of that when you move this around in future.
I mean, it looks like they wanted them to go like along the bottom of the thing.
Yeah. That's where I've sent them.
Cool.
Where's my grabby piece?
I should move stuff off the table so you have an easier time seeing what it is you're doing. Your grabby piece.
Tweezers.
Right here.
Ah, they're there. That's why I couldn't see them.
That's why I didn't know what they were called. And we'll have to get, right, we've got to get all of these other buttons in, and we have to get the new, I bought new silicon because it was there. I have to decide whether it's as good as the old silicon. It feels pretty good.
I would use the new stuff.
Well, it's the thing. I guess I never even got that all the way in there. The thing about the new stuff is that sometimes, like, So I have an 8-bit DO controller at home, and it, of course, has brand new silicone pads in it. And I was using it, and it started to have problems recognizing button. Like I would push down or push up or something like that, and it would think, "Oh, you're going up and to the right or up and to the left." I'm like, "Why is it doing that?" And it's because, and part of that was because of how the controller was built, but also part of that was the response of the button silicone, the silicones they were using. So Heather had an old Super Famicom controller we got when we were in. She got at the Hard Off when we were in Japan because she was going to mod it and turn it into something. It was like a buck and it was broken, and so I opened it up, took the silicone out, and put it into the 8-bit DO controller because it's the same size. And the response, like the button response, was just
Immediately?
It was immediately way better. It didn't stick. It didn't do anything. It didn't and then this is 20 years old and it's still working just fine. Whereas the thing that I had been using very heavily already, the silicone was starting to tear on it, and I was like, are these just the old versions just way better manufactured? I don't know.
Nintendo does good stuff.
They
so
really do.
maybe-
They want to put the time in, right?
So I'm going to pass this over to you.
Right.
Just be aware that there's not much play on that particular one, so that's about as high as you can lift it in the hood now.
All right. So things we're going to do, things we're going to do is we're going to get we'll try the new silicone. And if it turns out I don't like the new silicone, then it will come off. We got to get the new ones in. And I'm going to try to do this in a way that everyone gets to enjoy it.
There we go.
Like this. There's little posts in here. And so cool, okay. So what I have to do is I have to rotate this so it's just perfect, I guess.
This is going to be the most fiddly bit. If you need tweezers.
I might. And then there's little tiny posts and there's little tiny hoops on the edge of the silicone. And so the little hoops on the edges of the silicone, which is very hard to see, the posts go through them. I have a hard time illustrating that on camera because that zoom is not great.
I think the easiest thing to say is just that everything's keyed in
Yeah.
such a way that things can only go in one way.
The start and select buttons are literally just silicone posts.
And yet still keyed.
Yeah, it's still keyed. It has to go in the one way, and it has a little key pop on it. And then the B and A one is the same way, and it has a great big one and a little tiny one. So you just kind of find the holes and press it until it goes into all the little holes. And now I want to get the speaker sticker on.
So it doesn't rattle around so much.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be by just like this. And come on, get aim, because otherwise you're gonna hold the speaker down.
Yeah. I can resolder the speaker, no problem.
Yeah.
Your stickers?
I should have really put this on before we did this thing, but okay. I believe it is. There can't the frustration is that it's like you can't just say, well, it's good enough,
Yep.
right? It's like it has to be on there perfect, or else
It won't fit.
and it'll interfere with the inner membrane. You'll probably hear buzzing and stuff, right? So I can do that. Then we lift this thing back up. Again, bad TV, everybody, I realize, but here we are. And we're going to peel that sticker piece away. And lift the thing up. Catch these hands.
Oh,
It's stuck. Oh my God, it's stuck.
okay.
Great, good news, awesome.
Everything back in the holes.
Everything's back in the holes. All the other things are in place, and now we attach screws.
Yep.
Here.
So those were the short ones, right?
I think so. They were in here's one. Should we just use the new ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just use new ones.
Find your old ones later.
Yeah. Okay, put those to the side. New screw time.
Oh, that new screw smell.
It also comes with a custom
Yeah.
sticker to go on the back because you don't have a
Serial number.
serial number anymore. They're like, we'll give you a thing that has this instead. Okay, so I have received many screws and a whatever the fuck this is.
Oh.
I don't know what that's for.
That's a light guide. And that goes not on the back side.
That's a proper size case.
There.
Fuck. Okay. It's on this side,
Button side.
and it is
Up near the top. Oh yeah, you're
Right there.
good. That's super easy.
good. Light guides in.
Whew.
Sweet. Okay. Good start.
Light pipes.
Excellent start. Okay, that thing is still in place and still down, and everything's fine. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I think I have to use the smaller screws maybe. If I only receive 10 of these. Well, this is the thing. They're all the same size screws.
Yeah, the ones they give you.
Yeah. Oh, let's just see if the new ones will actually hold the motherboard down.
One there. Oh, I found the other one.
Okay, so I have both of the little ones if I need them.
Those are your motherboard screws, yeah.
How many screws were there that went into the...
Just the two in the motherboard.
Right, and where were they? Here?
And then the opposite side, I believe.
With an X through it, right? This one has an X through it, so this one has an X through it on this side.
Yeah, it should be
Well, that ain't it.
just north of the... Yeah, right there.
Right here?
No, there.
This one with an X.
Yes. That appears... Wait, hold on.
Yeah, I think I don't have that one right. What hasn't gone in here yet that maybe it needs to go
According
inside?
to my... Should be here.
It should be that one.
I think so,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense because it felt like it was a hole in there.
And these are the non-trilobe screws?
These are all Phillips head.
Oh, the X's are not... The X's are postmarks.
Good, that's what I thought.
Because your next one should be there.
On the edge, okay.
According to just looking at the pictures here. Reverse engineering. That's not what that means.
This is a Haynes manual situation, right?
Oh,
Installation
God.
is reversive removal.
Oh my gosh, we need to approach Haynes. Well, for
Have you considered doing these?
yeah, right?
Don't-
Yeah.
Isn't that an underwear company?
You're thinking of the 5-letter Haynes. We were talking about the 6-letter Haynes, Haynes.
Oh,
And their automobile manuals.
If you've ever spent time in Canadian Tire, at the automotive parts section, they always have a bunch of
I have
manuals. Okay, they always have a bunch of manuals which are like usually different colors, like they're green and or red or blue, and they all have a picture, usually an exploded picture, line art picture of a automobile.
Yeah, the automobile in question.
Yeah, exactly. And then it'll say,
like from Fast and the Furious.
yeah, and
an
it'll
exploded
say,
automobile.
exactly. And it'll be like Chevrolet citation and then it lists like a dozen other cars that share the same platform, and then it'll say the years in
Model
which that
years.
that is for. Haynes makes a good manual. I've learned that Chilton makes a better manual.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I was I was like, oh okay, I didn't know that was a company.
I bought the Haynes. The minute I put down the money for the Mini, I purchased a Haynes manual from Amazon, even before taking delivery, just so I'd have something to read.
So I have discovered an issue that this is, even though I have the membranes are in place, so that's good. I feel like there's something that's off
It does
slightly.
look something's off. Can I have a look at that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I put in the 2 screws, but I feel like something's wrong.
Oh yeah, no, this is not correct.
Yeah.
Something's off here.
It's sitting a little high.
What's getting in the way there? Well, first off, your screw's not in all the way
Oh, that's a good sign. Okay.
by actually a lot.
So maybe those screws I should not be using. I should use the original motherboard
Oh,
screws.
and Yeah, you should definitely use the original motherboard screws, and
Yeah.
your power button is binding against the motherboard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I do love especially the, oh, and Rexadecimal points out they have a shirt that's a Haynes manual for a Zaku too. I love Photoshops of Haynes manuals for fictional
Yeah.
vehicles.
The fact that it just feels like they survived into the next millennium and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we have all those prints up of the like exploded consoles.
Yeah.
Are they the ones who sort of pioneered that idea of the like exploded view of electronics
No.
or of mechanical things?
No, that's a very long, deep history that I don't know the origin of. But they have been around for a while, and they are basically considered the upgrade to your owner's manual for a car. Like if you want to get in there and change your oil or change your headlights are another good one.
Yeah.
They'll give you all the breakdown and the process.
Yeah. Do you want to replace all the stuff in the front end of your vehicle? We can do that for you. Where we can show you how it's done. The downside of it, of course, is that when you is that what makes Haynes ones a little bit tough is that they don't. I really twisted the fuck out of this thing, but it doesn't want to go home any further.
No, it's going.
Okay,
There you go.
is that they don't always have as many good pictures, or like I shouldn't say they don't have as many pictures, and then sometimes if they do have a lot of pictures, some of the pictures aren't quite what you need. They're not quite the best picture, so that can be frustrating for people. But I think we got there.
I think part of the problem, yeah, it's going to get there. But I think one of the reasons why you might have been having an issue too is that this is a fresh case, which means there are no threads to.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Has somebody made a Haynes manual
Mushy as fuck.
exploded view of a pair of Haynes underwear?
I don't know about this.
Not yet, but I'm sure give the chat time.
If not, why not?
Those are going to be fine, obviously. That doesn't feel right. Yeah, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, no, that's well down.
Down feels great,
Okay, what's up?
but left and right don't. Like I'm like at this point, the motherboard's what's providing pressure to hold everything else in place.
Yeah, the motherboard isn't deformed either.
No. So why is it that left doesn't feel correct? Why does left feel too loose? Like it just feels like mush.
I'm also questioning this B button here, which I'm going to just free from the tape a bit. Okay, the B's good.
Okay.
B and A are fine. Start and select is fine. What's up there?
Right?
I mean, how often do you have to turn left, really?
Yeah, Mario always runs to the right.
Or just do 3 rights if you need to go left.
I do have. Where is my silicone piece for the old one? There, it's still in here.
Have a look at this here.
I
Oh
wonder,
yeah, those are tight holes right now.
I wonder if I am better served by putting the old ones in there.
I wouldn't bet against it.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna have a look. Because this is the worst part about controllers, is these silicone
Yeah.
bumpers and whatnot. Okay. So it looks like, to me, it wasn't in there all the way.
That's weird. Okay.
It looks like it's lifted a bit on the left side. Now it seems fine-ish. Let's just see if that made any difference at all. Okay, I'm just gonna hold it down.
Yeah,
there for a
yeah,
moment.
yeah.
Do you want to push on left?
Sure.
Since-
Let's see here. Peel that thing right back. They still feel real fucking mushy.
Swap that out.
Yeah. Let's swap that out.
I'll hold it up for you, and you can
Cool.
maneuver inside.
Yeah.
Do you suffer from mushy D-pad?
Hold up. Oh yeah, because of your speaker, we've now
we're kind of even have less
Yeah.
play. Okay, that's fine. Let's pull this out. This should not be a problem. It comes out fairly easy. And let's compare these. The white ones are the old one. Let's get that way. Actually, they would be like this when they're in the thing. So, because this would be left. God, I hope it's not the D-pad itself, the plastic D-pad that's the problem. Down feels great. Up feels pretty good. See, the black one feels way stiffer. And so it feels like you should be having...
That's the one you want.
Yeah, you want that one. You feel you should be having positive contact with that. So let's just get this back in. And...
It's probably a job at Nintendo, like D-pad feel tester.
Right? Yeah. Okay. And let's... the nice thing is that it wants to, like, it has a mechanism to capture the silicone.
Nice.
So maybe the issue is that it wasn't turned all the way it was supposed to be.
May also be the case too, but I hope not.
Yeah, right? Okay, so if it's just that, and let's get this one.
Not sure if this is helpful or not. But
Well, we're here now, aren't we?
this is the weirdest game of Twister I've ever played.
I want to call your bluff on that, but I'll leave it be. Okay, let's try that.
Finger twister.
You assume that I've played more games of Twister than I have.
You're right. Okay, so if I take this and I take this and I put my fingers on opposite sides of the motherboard to provide some pressure, those look like clean places.
Yep. It looks good. That sounds better.
See, now left feels fine and down is not nice. Okay.
Let's have a look at this.
Yeah.
And then I think, honestly,
I would almost prefer to just put the new ones in because I've never heard of people complaining about the new ones, saying that, oh, they're not right, they're bad.
okay, let's put the new ones in and then let's button this thing up
Okay.
and then actually give it a feel then.
Sure.
Because I think I get the feeling that there's some,
Bias.
not just bias, but I think there's a lack of structural support in play.
Yeah, I could see that. You know what? Take from the edge, pop the thing off. Pop the thing off. Here we go. Okay, now it's clear. Now grab it. Now pull it out.
It is, it seems like kind of a frivolous thing, like the tacticality of a button or whatever, but it's amazing how much difference it can make, especially like, you get like a piece of like high-end, like hi-fi equipment or something. And the difference between, it's probably costs the manufacturer, a buck or a couple cents even, but the difference in the feel of quality between kind of a plastic chintzy button and like a nice like knurled aluminum thing that has like a really positive
Tactile click.
feel on it is an amazing thing to just sort of make it feel high end.
I mean, there's a reason that the knob feel review website is only kind of half a joke. Yeah,
It is definitely half a joke.
yeah. But on the other hand, I really do care about knob feel. Yeah. Dear equipment manufacturers, please gear your knobs for added.
I think that's going to be fine. Yeah, I think that that one will be fine.
Okay.
And then we will do the white one now. I am sorry that this is still remaining to be not the best TV in the world.
Not at all. This is also a. This is better than the last minute Christmas shopping. This is
Cut that out.
last minute Christmas building.
It's true. This is intended to be a gift that Heather already knew about.
And that's fine. But you're telling me Jesus didn't know he was already going to be getting gold, frankincense, and myrrh?
I mean, he probably knew he was even coming, so.
Yeah.
You've come. You've said you would come, but you have come.
Come.
Yes, I have come. Great.
Thanks, Jesus.
Thanks, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, fuck the light guide.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. It's back.
It's like, you know what? Yeah, next time, maybe not the myrrh. Just leave the myrrh. We don't really need that.
And that's saying a lot, right? It's kind of like, hey, you know what we use this shit for, right? It's embalming fluid.
Yeah, maybe
like,
not a great
mm.
thing to give to a baby.
Yeah.
Like, sure, it's valuable, but like,
Is there,
is he just gonna have to like keep it until he dies?
That's another thing. Embalming fluid. Yes, this is definitely something that I will need.
Yeah, it's like saying it's like getting a kid like a grave plot or something.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, it's useful, but maybe not appropriate.
maybe it was meant to be memento mori, right? It's supposed to be like, I want you to keep this with you, Jesus, and remember someday you'll die too. And
Yes.
It's like, well,
That's
will I?
why I'm here.
And then
Not the way you
after,
expect, but
and then after all that, when he died, he didn't even use it.
right? Yeah. The gall. We're gonna get so many people angry at us.
Yeah, and the gulls were a different time period.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry.
God, that's when you know the franchise is over, when they release Asterix in Bethlehem.
I thought they did something
think
like
they
that.
did mention-
They did a Christian type thing in a book, but I've watched the new Asterix and Obelix movies, the ones that are in like that are in
The CG one?
the CG ones. They're actually pretty entertaining.
You mean one of the ones featuring Loading Ready Run Alumni Andy Cowden?
Oh, is he in one of them?
Yes.
Nice.
He's, I believe, Cacophonics.
He plays two roles, in fact.
Oh my god.
But he's got like one of the
Yeah.
main Gaulish villagers.
I mean, Cacophonics isn't allowed to talk much anyway, but yeah,
If you
that's kind of a
yeah,
downside. But
like if you know that and you watch it, you will immediately be like, "What? That voice?"
we
I know.
didn't pick
In
up
fact,
on that shit at all.
I believe he does have a scene where he has to talk to himself as well.
I'll tell you this: they beat the hell out of the original 2D animated ones.
Oh, really?
Because those ones were when you watch them, you're like, oh, these were done cheap. They're not. They're like, we're adapting the books, and I'm like, you might want to have adapted them a little bit further. Like they're not.
Get your good friends at Tokyo Movie Shimsho on the phone.
Okay, so that's in. Let's get the rest of these in here and be able to wrap up this sucker.
I would have loved to be able to fix those buttons, but
Yeah, I think
the shoulder ones, I mean.
Yeah, but I like the thing is they still felt like when I click them here, they still feel pretty good, and they kind of have like a dull clicky. Like you can, I don't know if you can hear them on your microphone or not, but
Oh yeah, they do have a light. I mean, the thing is, they're not going to be any worse than they were.
yeah, exactly. These ones that are in here are quite loud, so I'm assuming the clickiness is just a little bit more pronounced.
Actually, do you know why I now feel incredibly vindicated in my saying that we should get the back case on before judging?
What is that?
Have a look at this back case. What do you notice where the buttons and D-pad are?
Oh, there's
Some really solid support.
yeah, some stuff that's pushing that stuff so it can't deflect. Okay. All right. And this is going to be the trickier part for me is where do you catch the do you catch these in there? Does it get caught in
Oh, where does the spring go?
Yeah, where does the spring actually go in order to make this thing?
You'll be able to feel it.
I would hope so. Can't fucking go there. All right. Which one? Oh, this is L.
So that needs to be on
Left.
that side,
Yeah,
yes.
that would explain why I'm having a trouble.
Look, there's stage left, and then there's GBA left.
Do you go in that gap? That's a dumb place to go. You go in this gap, probably. Yes.
Beach rides the subway.
Yes, Adam, yes.
You go in the gap? No. Mind the gap.
Mind the gap. Piss.
And vinegar, which is what we don't have. I'm only smiling because I remember this specifically when I did my Afterburner mod.
Right, yeah.
I think I might still have that GBA. I should dig it out and rip that mod out.
Yeah, see what else you... Oh, okay, that's interesting. These aren't longer. They're not. Okay, the thing's just a little more pronounced, that's all. Okay. Well, on the one I can see, this goes in like that. So it has to pass in like that. So this is the L. The L has to pass in like... Can I literally not get this thing in until... Oh, wait. Is that in? That's it?
That's in.
Great, okay. Put that one in next. I just got there and I was like, does it go in like this? And it was like, yes. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's
Thank
where
you.
that goes now, yeah. You found me a home. And I'm like, I was trying this whole time.
Before you get any farther, may I get in there and just when it's laid down, once you've got that other shoulder piece in.
I feel like I'm contacting some sort of like tiny... It's the weirdest damn feeling.
They're extremely proud.
They are. Like it's like you need to get this thing in just like that. What the fuck? That's too loud.
That's also not in there. There we go.
That's in there. Great. Okay.
For anything else,
Yeah, what
I
would you
just
like to do?
want to move this out of the way of where that.
Oh yeah, get your optimize our pinch points.
Yeah. There we go.
Great. Yeah, and then
A little masking tape.
yeah, and that will go over there like that just fine. This thing goes like this.
Lawrence Arano in chat is talking a bit about Panic's issue with the play date and playing with or making changes in button feel and how that needs to be different and how that sort of change will take weeks to.
To make their way through the...
Yeah, because you make the change. It's got to go back to China, be produced, come back, do the test. And
Select and start feel amazing, so that's good.
This is why every single hardware Kickstarter is always delayed.
Before I get the back piece on, let's just ensure that everything that I was going to do today has kind of been taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably don't need this, but
hold on to it.
yeah, hold on to it. It's going to go in there with this thing. That stuff goes over there. We're going to not have to worry about that. That's the speaker, and that's the back panel for the other one. So all this can go over here like that. This is garbage. This is fine. These pieces we didn't need to use, so they're technically garbage. These are the old screws, which are going to go with that. This goes with that. Nothing else left in these two bags, so they're technically trash. That goes with that.
You want your bag?
I probably don't need to worry about the bag just yet.
Okay, put it
What
in the
I
trash pile.
want to do eventually is I want to find a way to modify the color matched one to have the
Yeah, the slot.
yeah, and we can probably do that fairly simply by like taking a lot of measurement, really putting a piece of tape on the back, drawing around the edge, drawing the hole, and then putting on a thing and being like, it goes there, you know, like it's like this is where we're gonna get a tiny drill and just kind of pop holes in it until it's like it's big enough. Also, this is a mother. Like when you get it on and you try to get it over top of the USB-C, it was so hard to do.
Supposed to be a one-time installation.
Yeah, it's like you put this thing in and it's like, and now you're done, and don't ever try to open the back because you'll have to slide the thing around to get it back on again. Okay. Back case on.
Mind your L and R's while you do that.
Yeah. and make sure that can pass through.
Also mind your P's and Q's.
I don't know if we need this.
Let's take it out.
Okay. I was gonna say, does the
No.
it does install from the top.
Leave it in,
Okay.
and here's why.
Okay.
In case this goes off on you for some reason, that way you can just go back to alkalines without having to open up the case again.
That's fair. And you actually pull it out from the top.
Yeah.
So even if we need to adjust it, we can just pull it off from the top. Okay, here we go.
And also watch your caps on the right-hand side from the one of the mods.
I'm going to clear this piece. And I'm going to also clear...
Good call.
Yeah.
Get your tape off.
Good. And now we are clear. And that thing is holding it. And it fits like a glove, like they were made to go together, which is great because they were. They haven't gloved in yet. We're almost there. They're so close to fitting together properly and perfectly. All right. I'm not going to have any power anyway, so no point in me trying to power it on. Okay,
Get some screws in.
let's get going on some screws.
Fits like one of
late.
Fits like one of those gloves that screws onto your hands.
Yeah. I completely forgot when you said it's like, you know, all the standoffs are actually brand new. They're probably not. They probably don't have threads in them. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes good sense.
Which is why they sent you self-tapping screws.
I'll screw that one down a little more in a second.
Okay, get them in there,
Yeah.
then button.
Try to have the tension the same if I can.
You got to even the torque, so you use a star pattern.
All right.
It's like changing a tire.
Yeah. We've all changed a tire before, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, I've got the top, bottom. It's amazing how much play so much of this stuff has with each other. Until you, like, this has a weird hole in it.
Oh, that's for a loop, like for a lanyard.
That explains, oh yeah, because the other side has that weird hole in it. Okay. It's funny though, because it's like all of this stuff almost fits together perfectly, and then you just kind of ease it in the last half a millimeter on your own, and hey, look, it all fits properly, and you're like, wow, these things are held together with like it ain't baling wire. It's there's a lot of tension to keep these things in place.
In one piece. Which you'll find in the Grand Line, I believe. I don't know, I haven't been watching or reading.
They're on some sort of arc right now that people are like, this is going to end at some point, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, and we'll get to move on to the better arc or
Apparently
something?
it's in Japan now?
Oh, One Piece is?
Yeah.
That's good, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're finally getting it.
Well, the irony of that statement is that they didn't have ninjas or Japanese setting for the longest time because Oda Sensei wanted to keep ninjas and a Japanese setting for Kishimoto and Naruto, which was new at the time.
Ah. Okay. That's a little soft. That's a little... Maybe it'll seat? These feel amazing. B and A feel great. Start and select have really good movement. These are good.
Wiggle it around a bit.
Which the...
Yeah, the D-pad. With your thumb. Just
Try to move it side to side a bit. Yeah, left just feels a little tight, and I imagine that's just because also new silicone. But at least it's not mushy. It just feels like, oh, I'm a little tight. And I'm like, okay, fair, whatever. Battery.
Yep. I'm excited.
Me too. Can I get all of this in and have it make contact?
And everything's tight too, right?
How do you mean the?
All your screws?
Oh, all the screws are so tight. Yeah, they're
Okay.
they're in there now forever. And I believe I need to push this down a little bit more.
Yeah,
I might need to pull this thing on the side out. We'll see.
it seems like you've got enough room.
It seems like it all fits, right? Like once I got the battery clear of the spring side on this side, because the spring side's on this side and the spring side's on this side. So once I got it clear of that spring, it really felt like it wanted to sink in there. And that's where that's going to live. Okay, that's perfect. Well, then I should just be able to turn it on.
Yeah, let's try it one more time there.
How do you want to do it? From the close? Like this?
Overhead?
Overhead?
Overhead. Let's try it from the overhead. Let's turn it around so everyone can enjoy it. Yeah.
That's good and loud.
Hey, the tape on the screen is no longer load bearing.
While
right?
you've got it on, while you've got it
Well,
on,
I need to peel all that stuff off, and then we need to attach we need to peel the sticker off the back and put it in place. Yeah.
try the select LR for brightness.
Right. Okay. So select.
Ho 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 ho.
It turns down, but it does not come back up again. Oh wait. Oh, so select brings it up. Select L brings it down. As long as you hold down select. R does nothing. So select brings it up. So what the hell is select select R for?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but you know
Wait,
what?
just pushing select by itself
Makes it brighter.
That
That seems
It
bad.
doesn't seem like that's what's supposed to happen.
might be a problem,
Okay.
actually.
Because yeah, if you hit select while you're playing a game, then everything gets real fucking bright, and then you have to like go select and bring it down again.
Yeah, that seems wrong.
What do you think?
It's up to you. We can come back and
I mean, you grabbed like you know you grabbed the right thing, right? Like if I do this, it doesn't change it. If I hold down L and I hit select, it doesn't change it. If I hold down R and hit select, it doesn't change it. And if I hit select, so which one makes it darker again? Right, L. Yeah. So if I hold select and I do this, it darkens it. If I hold L and I do this, nothing. If I hold R and do this, nothing. If I press select and hit R or hit, right, okay. I think we're sure we got all the things to the right spot, right?
Yep. Yep. So there and there. And yeah. Okay.
But you took the right lead off of the select button and put, like you made sure that this is the lead from the select button and it went to the right spot.
Yep.
If you were paying attention to that, it's probably fine. Does the R button work? Oh, that's a good question.
We'd have to test that.
Yeah. How would I'd have to test it by putting a
Game in.
game in there that actually can do that. So I'm going to get some games, and we're going to find out which ones have R buttons. Because I don't know what will have an R button right off the top of the game. Maybe Mario Kart or something.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Just bring the whole thing.
Yep, you bet.
Oh yeah, those are. The D-pad is, in my opinion, in the correct configuration. But I don't know why it's doing this thing with the LR. I forgot how good these feel, just as a. It's a good,
Yeah, it's a good shape.
Okay, I have many games. Courtesy of our lovely friend.
Yes.
How did we end up with so many extra screws?
Don't.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, you got your 7th in?
And then there was the 2 that we put in the thing, 8, 9.
Yep.
Oh well. Okay. You think maybe like Street Fighter?
Yeah, that's probably your best bet. to
Street
start
Fighter.
with. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's try Street Fighter.
Original Game Boy and Game Boy Color games use LNR to select the aspect ratio, if you've got any of those.
We do not.
Okay. I'm gonna just try to get this on while I'm at it.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, it kind of attaches and it's got a hole in it, and isn't that lovely? Turn it on.
And now it says Nintendo.
Yes, right, because it has a thing in it. That's right.
Chapcom.
So loud. Okay. Street Fighter 2 Revival. Arcade Tore
Training. That's a good idea.
Toreningu. Yeah.
That'll let you just hit buttons.
Yeah. Oh, there's actually was a choice from the L for some reason is L is acting as what exactly? Jump, down, kick, punch, okay.
Hard kick. Which is nothing on the top one.
Start stops. I don't know what select is even doing, but it's registering something. R does nothing.
If L is heavy kick, then R should be heavy
Check
punch.
the button.
Oh, down there it says versus points, and I'm hitting the R button.
And nothing's happening?
Nothing's happening.
Okay, that means something's up. Yeah, let's get it unbuttoned.
Okay. Do you even have time for this
I
tonight?
do have time for this tonight. As long as you have time for this tonight,
Oh,
and
yeah.
also Paul has time for this tonight.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if Paul had to go home, I guess I could ride the board.
Let's go.
Okay.
Do you mind if I just turbo into this?
Yeah, go nuts.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's get this out of there.
Good fucking luck. Hey, you got it clear. Awesome. Okay, I'm glad, because I was worried about that.
There we go.
Okay. Well, they put tissue tape, 3M 9448A double coated tissue tape on both sides of this battery, as if to say, "Here, put this in your Game Boy forever."
Never coming out.
I'm like, no, I can't do that. I can't let you have it forever. All right, we'll move Street Fighter over here too for the time being.
We're going to do a quick continuity test first before we do anything else.
Okay.
It's interesting because the R and L you weren't doing anything to. You didn't mess with.
Yeah, the only thing we did was we ran a wire to the test pads, and so it's like, so if the R button is not contacting the R button, I mean, because that's the other thing, we could try taking the L and R buttons out and pressing the actual triggers and seeing if they work. That could be an option too. But
like when you push the R button, if you feel that
feel
click,
contact, yeah.
if you feel that click, that means that the inner button is moving.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So it's like, so what got routed or soldered funny?
Ah, there's one more screw.
You got the one that's down there too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, okay, yeah. So
But
maybe
Ca-
R is bridged permanently down.
Yeah, that would make sense with the whole thing with the select being weird.
Ah, okay, that's cool. Bytecaster has a neat idea. Maybe R is bridged permanently down. Games often only check changes from up to down and vice versa. But since we're clicking select, that registers as a select plus
This
R.
is actually easy to check.
Yeah.
Let me just grab these 2 points here, and can you push down on the button for me?
The R button?
Yeah.
Hang on one second.
Okay.
That's left.
Oh, yeah, and R.
Ready?
Yep. Buttons are working as they should.
Weird, when I pressed near the top, it didn't seem to want to register the button.
That's probably more me not being in contact.
Okay.
So if it was bridged, it would be constantly on there.
Yeah. So we're going to have to unfortunately take these out. Well, that one's in there good and tight. All right, you are screwed in still.
What do you need?
Hold on, just want to make sure.
Oh, a place to catch stuff?
No, just so I'm not over top of that solder on your case.
Do you want to use this?
That'll be
It's
work.
nice and soft.
That'll be good too.
Okay.
That said, everything seems to be working well otherwise, which is amazing and great.
Could it be bridged at the probe point where the display port connected? I mean, this is the thing. Now that we're having an problem, it's like, hey, let's we can check everywhere, right?
Yep.
Like, and that's fine.
Let's get this out of there.
I'm not going to lean on the table because I don't want to have a.
Can you?
What are we doing? Press A button.
No, don't press the button. Can you just hit touch that point for me?
Touch the one the blue's attached to?
Yeah, that the wire is attached to, and that should be going to the R. Well, in a second.
That's L.
Okay. Dang it. Hold on a second here.
Do you want to peel up my speaker so you can actually flip the thing over?
I might have to do that, but we'll see if we can in any easy way. The bracket is also in the way here, but...
Mm. Oh, no. And then peel up from the edge of the speaker, probably. Just
No,
not with that,
Yeah.
obviously. That's, yeah. I'm sure there'll be enough adhesive on the thing to register again.
yeah.
So.
In fact, I'll just keep that adhesive down there in the speaker hole.
Oh, it came right off, did it?
Well, partially.
That's fine.
You know what? We'll take it out of there.
If it turns out to be a problem or something, we'll take the adhesive out and I'll be like, hey, your Game Boy's going to rattle a bit.
It's the adhesive is in there fine now. Okay.
Cool.
It's just this bracket. It's currently in the way of the testing points.
So, do you want to pull the
But-
bracket?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Okay, and that one's going to go to test point 2 now. Okay, that's fine. Now, was it L or R that's having the problem?
R is the one that has the problem.
R is the one that's the problem? Okay. Well,
At the board.
Okay, that's good.
Hmm.
And then the other one.
It is L the problem? That would be weird.
No, it's not.
Okay. Okay. So
It's,
you-
okay, everything is soldered correctly.
okay. To test the brightness controller, hold select and toggle the brightness using the L and R triggers. Like, I can't think of what else you would have to do because it's 3 wires, right? It could not have gone wrong.
No, and I think if it's something that's gone wrong, it's probably the board itself.
Can we attach the batteries back to this and actually test it all with the battery in place before screwing it all back together?
Oh yeah, I'm sure we can do that.
And then don't even put the buttons in place. We can just test it by clicking triggers.
Yeah, we can do that. In fact, let us do that right now.
Okay.
Let's just get the screws in place though.
Do you have any alligator clips?
You could just use regular batteries if that's easier too.
Well, because we have to bridge the other side of them, so we'd have to tape because I'm not talking about putting the back on. I'm talking about, can we just take this thing and touch it to the 2 contacts
Oh, I see.
and have enough, to go with? But
Oh, because the other side of the batteries is in the
yeah,
container.
it
Oh, I
needs
see.
it would need that. So it's like I'd have to take that off. I mean, we could just put the whole thing back on without screwing anything down and just be like, can we test it that way? But
That's the correct method, I think.
yeah.
Because otherwise, we're not. Okay, good. And then let's get this on. And then where'd the battery go?
Over here.
Great.
Do you want to just use normal ass batteries?
Sure.
Bingo.
Ass battery. Okay. And, oh, right. Well, no, that's right. We can just do it like this.
Switches on the other side.
Thank you.
It fell out, so you can put it back in if you want, or you can just twist it on.
Okay. So. Cool.
It works.
It just works now.
Okay, so something was wrong with the R button, probably where it was sitting.
The old take it apart and put it back together system.
That's fine. I prefer that.
Yep. Same here.
Yeah.
All right.
So, do you want me to go ahead and screw everything back together?
I'm actually, if you don't mind,
Yeah, you get to
I'd love
assemble.
to do
Sure.
this.
Yeah, by all means.
There's a teeny tiny gremlin inside who was like, "Help me, let me out."
Something just weird about how I got that right trigger in place, probably. So, I have my own here I can put back together. So why don't I just do that?
Okay.
You know what I never realized? The light guides on these have cutouts on the edge.
Oh, they're also keyed?
Yeah, the light guide on this one is keyed. I have no idea if it's keyed on the other one. Because it's a different manufacturer, right? It could be.
Good point.
They could have just taken it off entirely because they're like, why do we need to key this thing? Who gives a shit?
There we go. That's
Anyway, this gives me something to do in the meantime.
there.
But the idea that that the way the system works is it only register like that it doesn't actually register held down versus or it doesn't it registers ups and downs, but if it starts like if it boots with it down, it doesn't register it as popping up. So if
That could very well be the case, yeah.
so if it somehow had gotten pinched when you put it together, and so it was just locked down.
That might have definitely been, yeah, all it was. Okay, so those things are back inside. What else do I want to throw in there? Maybe not the speaker. What else goes in this thing to kind of feel like it all goes back together? Oh, right, the switch. Even though it's not going to connect to anything, it should be in that hole anyway. And then
There we go. Okay, and now, because I'm paranoid, before I put the screws in, do it again. Good. Okay, everything's fine.
excellent.
Not even going to turn it off.
That mod actually makes it really easy to test now.
Yeah, right?
You don't have to wait for a game that has the L and R buttons.
Yeah, we just basically do it immediately. Use my tiny. This red set that I have, I got off of Deal Extreme. Remember we used to buy stuff from there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I got these off of Deal Extreme because I was looking for. I needed something to do repairs on a. Oh no! I was doing my DS case swap.
Right, that was the thing we did.
Right. We were doing those things. So I did a DS case swap because Heather gave me her. I lost my DS Lite. I lost my DS Lite that my grandmother gave me before she passed away, and if I don't know what the hell happened to it, I think what happened to it is it fell out of my pocket because I always had it in my coat pocket, so I'd have something to do. It and all of the games I had with it fell out of my pocket, probably in the parking lot of a Princess Auto. Seems to be the last time I remember being outside with the damn thing, and then I wasn't able to find it anymore. And then Heather, knowing that I was sad I didn't have one, she ended up giving me her white DS Lite, and I was like, "Oh, rad! You know what?" And it was a little ratty, like a little worse for wear because she is a handheld gamer, so she carries the damn thing everywhere. So I bought a. All right, these are, what the frig am I doing? I'm like, why aren't these going in? Oh, because they're tri-wings. So yeah, she ended up giving me that, and then I was like, I'm going to do a case swap, and so I did a case swap where I did like black and white batteries, and I had this like they sold a weird case on Deal Extreme that was like it was black, but the lid was like very dark green with like a weird 3D effect in it, and like weird kind of underlying holographic underneath the top coat, and it just looked really unusual. So I picked that up and really liked it. And yeah, that ended up being like the one that I was I think I even still have it. It's probably in a case somewhere. So all right.
I know I still have my. I did a swap to the red limited edition case.
Oh, like the Gundam Hyakushiki
yeah,
style
just
thing?
the shiny red.
Oh, it's the Char.
Yeah,
Yeah, Zaku.
That was back before my Char obsession, by the
Right.
way.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. Back when they really didn't do red ones. So now we have to get that screen lens in place. Now we know everything's working.
I like that. I like that you both modded the cases on. Like, did you do it? You did it together. Like it was like it's
I
like
was
let's
in
mod both.
Japan.
Our cases. Oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah. And I was in Olds when I did that one. Did I do my? I did my Game Boy. I did my GameCube way before that. All right. Well, let's. So now the thing is, we peel off the tape
Yep.
because we don't need that.
And peel off the cover.
Because we're not going to need that, but we do need to stick down everything else. So I'm going to try to take the tape off and leave the top piece as on as I can make it, because this needs to come out so that I can peel all of this shit off, which is very easy to do.
Now double check for dust on both sides.
Looking pretty clean so far.
I don't see any on the GBA screen, so you are clear to adhere.
Don't sneeze.
Christ.
You are clear to adhere. And it only goes in one way, so you'll be fine there.
It has to make positive contact. And then,
Oh, that looks good.
yeah, it looks like it's going to make it. Hold it up and then watch it fucking
Yep.
fall out.
Clank.
Clank. Here we go.
Goes off.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Stick some WarioWare in there and let's see what that looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah. All right, let's see here. Where did it go? It's the big one.
Yep.
All right. WarioWare Twisted, I think.
Oh, because it's got the fancy.
The gyroscope, back when gyroscopes were huge.
Now no games use gyroscopes.
That health and safety thing is right out of the DS.
Wow. That screen looks
It's so nice.
fantastic.
And nothing is off the edges.
Yeah. There's a piece of dust on the top, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Can it get more bright than that?
It's too bright for
Yeah.
the camera.
Good lord.
It's so pretty.
It's so bright. Holy shit. All right, let's take it down a bit so I can.
Imagine if a 3DS's had, or imagine if GBAs had looked like this at launch.
Right? People would have lost their. Do you want to get it on the ring camera?
Oh yeah. Wait, let me wait back.
Right here. There you go.
Let me focus. Oh,
It
look.
just looks so fucking crisp.
Sharp and crisp.
Oh.
And that is.
And you're like, oh,
It
well,
looks-
it's not that much bigger. It's like it isn't, but it makes a lot of
You're
difference.
making me want to do this
Right?
now.
To be honest, it looks kind of fake.
Right.
Like it looks like an emulator.
That rules. Oh my god. All
well.
right. So I've got a little bit of fingerprint there, which I have no idea if that's underneath the glass or not. And fuck, I hope it's not.
I'm pretty sure it's on top.
It's not coming off.
That can't be underneath. You just peeled it off.
I know. I just peeled the back thing off and took it out. I didn't think I put my finger on it. No, it was underneath. I mean, the thing is, we could peel this up, and I could use the other glass and put that down.
Well, actually, you could probably peel it up right now because the adhesive isn't super on there.
I just have to. Yeah, we have to be sure we can
Here.
get it up. Okay,
Try from a corner.
like here.
I'd say top corner because there's less adhesive there.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it came off,
Okay.
and now I have to polish the underside.
Do we have a microfiber cloth anywhere?
Fuck.
Oh no.
That is.
Okay. Abort and new screen.
Yeah. No. I can. We can deal with this. Yep. We can deal with this.
Okay. It's gonna be perfect.
Wait,
Pretty sure cotton ball is like an extra fiber cloth.
Yeah, wasn't even thinking about that, about all the shit that's on the side of it.
Microfiber? How about just fiber?
This is weird.
Is it?
It doesn't look like it's coming off. I hope it's not like, it shouldn't be baked into the glass.
Can't be.
Okay, wait, no, I got it.
Good.
Yeah, and we can do the other one. It's kind of coming off.
The microfiber T-shirt.
Yeah, it is kind of coming off. Just don't want to breathe on it because I'm afraid of.
Lost count of the number of like CDs I've saved with just on the T-shirt.
Right? That's as good as we're going to get.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put it down again and let's see if it all is fine. Is that a new? Those are on the outside, right?
How about that one there? Keep touching it with fingers.
Right.
Hold on.
Yeah, do you have a solution?
Yes, Windex.
Oh yeah, this side of the glass can take Windex, you're
We
right.
have a thing for that.
Yeah. Whew. I mean, if Heather looks at it and she's like, oh, there's like fingerprints and shit, I'll be like, don't worry, I've got another one. We're going to peel that one up and we're going to... So, how do you want to do this? Just saturate a corner of that?
Just
Just
give it a good
that's-
spray.
The fingerprint is so she thinks of you every time she plays.
Keep going. There we go.
Get it nice and wet.
Yeah, and then just apply to the front.
Okay. Find a edge.
There's a great website I saw one time that was they just did pictures of iPads
It's still under there.
or of an
See
iPad
if I can get
with the like the like finger grease marks for different apps. So it's like if an app has like a sidebar, there'll be like a big
patterning.
streak back and forth. So it's like different apps have different streak patterns.
Yeah.
Whether an app uses a keyboard, whether it's got like a whole bunch of little dots down at the bottom.
Well, that's the social engineering hack for figuring out a person's password is, check the grease marks.
Right.
Yeah. Come on, you prick. Okay. Now.
Heather knows every one of our sins, too.
Fuck. No. I see why they make these in factories. It's just getting worse. It's just getting so worse. So much worse. Like, I don't even know how I save this at this point. Fuck. Yeah, it's just getting bad.
You mind if I give it a try?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
because we can either... Yeah, because you've got the extra if this doesn't end up working.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Just saturate that up.
Okay, go crazy.
All right.
Oh, is she even in chat? She is in chat.
Yeah.
See, but the adhesive still has to stick is the problem, right? Like we can go edge to edge, but if the adhesive doesn't stick, then it's like, oh no. We've done all this work for no reason.
Glue stick.
So I need to make sure that I've got both sides clean.
Yeah.
I mean, if the front has a mark on it, you can always do that after.
Yeah.
But
Once we stick it on, it's like we can polish the front, but we don't know if it's on the front or the back.
And then just wipe.
We have the benzoyl chloride pads, right? So, oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't. Probably don't want to just use some random.
No, I agree.
This is terrible.
Right? It just gets worse and worse.
Is it just picking up the streaks from the
Yeah,
Windex?
probably. I think that the point that we're at now.
Okay, I'm happy with that. Can you toss me cotton pad, Paul? Thank you.
Sure. Do you want to just have one that's on a thing?
Nope.
Okay.
Like that. That will not help.
Do we have any camera lens cleaning cloths?
I was looking for that.
Please do.
Okay. Like this.
We have a second one, and I don't. The second one is good that I got a second one as a backup. So if this is not going to do it, then we can just lean into the getting the second one, and I'm fine. I can still sell the first one to somebody and be like, "You're going to have to find a way to make this work for you," but. I should have just been like, fuck it. There's tiny little marks on the underside. You can't see them. In my hubris.
There are you. All right.
Oh. Fresh in the package. Digital lens cleaning tissue. Oh, they're actual tissues. Holy shit, there's like hundreds of these. Hang on a second. How do I get one of them out? Wait, are they just all attached to each other? No, they are. Okay.
Actually,
Here, Ian, try that.
that's all I need. I think we're good.
Okay. I hope it sticks. Because I can go get the Elmer's glue and we can make it stick.
Oh yeah. Just get a nice bead around the edges.
Yeah.
Okay. I think.
That works.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if nothing else, it might have equalized everything that was on it.
So I'm not going to like push it down hard just yet.
Yeah.
Because I want to clean the front and make sure that it's.
Do you want more of these lens cleaning tissues?
No, I like the wet.
Okay.
And then
dry it. Still works, so that's good.
Tell me if you see any marks.
Jesus, no, I don't see a single mark. No, I don't see a single mark. And you figure this is probably...
Yep.
Okay, well that might...
Okay, but given.
No, it's all it is just the it's the adhesive.
Yeah,
So if I can just get it to make contact.
that's
with
all I
the
was
edge.
thinking.
Yeah, and that'll be okay.
And you have an extra screen if you need it.
Yep.
We can get you.
But I think it's going to hold it all in place.
Yep.
so
And we can always pull it off. And I have a hot air rework kit if we want to. If you want to remove the adhesive and swap out that screen.
Ah, I see. Okay. I'm glad that I bought a. I'm glad I bought a second screen, and let that be a lesson to all of you that if you're going to do this yourself,
Buy two of everything.
yeah,
It's safer that way.
yeah, at least get like two screens, and if you are trading out an old Game Boy or whatever, be like, well, I'll buy new silicone just in case. I won't use the silicone on my old one just in case, you know. But yeah, for the amount that I spent, I'm real happy with the result. And I'll give Heather the sticker, and if she wants to put it on the back, she can. Or they make a whole bunch of custom Game Boy Advance stickers that have like all sorts of weird shit on them. So I will let her make the decision about what she wants to do.
As is her wont.
Yeah.
Friends, that was a hell of an episode. I'm happy that we got to actually... people have been saying there have been too many successes on Tinker Tailor in the past year, and I agree. This has been yet another fantastically successful episode.
But what a gauntlet to run.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. So thank you so much, Beej, for joining me for this and providing the
project?
Yes, the project and challenge today.
And thank you for doing a lot of the really tiny little work on there, because I would have not been confident if I had to do it all on my own.
I'm glad it all turned out well.
Yeah.
And of course, I want to thank everyone at home who is watching that, be it over at youtube.com/loadingreadylive, where all of our streams live after they have run their course. And of course, you can find out more of our stuff over at youtube.com/loadingreadyrun. I want to thank especially those of you who are just hanging out in the chat, whether you're just here, being a lurky person, chatting yourself up, or if you've chosen to show us your monetary support here at Loading Ready Run. Thank you so much for that. We'll get to you in a second. But Paul, what do we have? Well, thank you, Paul, for running the tech today.
And sticking around for so long, yeah.
Do we have anything coming up this week of note?
We do. Tomorrow morning, we got Kathleen continuing on with her Shin Megami Tensei 5 playthrough.
Great.
And then tomorrow afternoon, Beej, Heather, and myself will be doing a Checkpoint Plus, talking about all the video game news and Christmas stuff, I guess.
Everything that might have come up already and might still come up, who knows? I'll put that on there.
And then on Saturday, it is going to be a very magical Heather and Beej Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land.
Freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land.
May the tingle
Not
man
normal Tingle. This is freshly picked Tingle.
He's like a freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. The way you were saying that, Paul, though, when you're leaning in, like coming up on the 25th is Loading Ready Live. I was like, wait, I was like, oh! I could hear the cadence and I was freaking out.
Yes, there is no Friday Night Paper Fight on Friday because it's Christmas Eve.
Well, I mean, it would be a draft, and it's untraditional to open gifts on Christmas Eve. You have to wait till Christmas Day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All the Magic players are at home with visions of sugar plums dancing in their heads.
And appreciating a little bit of time off.
Yeah.
But then on Saturday, Beej and Heather will be having a magical Christmas Day stream. And then on the Sunday, we're going to be having our traditional Boxing Day stream.
Have to celebrate it somehow.
Yeah. A bunch of us are going to get together. We're going to hang out, answer, we'll do some chatting. We will, I believe we have some stream highlights from the year. Oh, yeah. We're going to play some Crokinole. For real, not the digital Crokinole that we tried last year.
Don't ruin the surprise,
that
Paul.
didn't work too well.
And as you can see in the chat, we got s'mores on the ready, and God, who knows how that's going to turn out. So, yeah.
We'll have equipment.
And then Sunday afternoon, Ian and Heather are going to be playing Melody's Escape. Just that's where you get to load in all your own songs, right?
Exactly. It's one of the few.
This is kind of your tradition, it seems, now that it's like the Rhythm Cafe. Like at the end of the year, you guys bring music, use Melody's Escape.
This has been like since we started playing Melody's Escape. I think it's been our third or maybe fourth year at this point.
It's nice to have traditions.
Yeah.
So yeah, just you cartwheel right into that out of the S'more Fest of Boxing Day. You guys are going to go right into this, which means we have a hard out on Boxing Day.
I also don't have any time between now and then.
Yeah.
I still need to pick my songs.
Oh, that's fine. Heather still needs to pick hers too.
Oh, good.
Ah.
And then on Monday, More Shin Megami Tensei with Kathleen, followed by the Can't Draw Horses Club with Corey and friends. And then Crossing the Streams on Monday evening. I don't know what it is.
Returns. Who knows?
I should probably know that,
Yeah.
but it's like a long time away.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like 5 days.
It's the longest days.
Who could all sorts of things could happen in 5 days. So lots of cool stuff coming up. loadingreadyrun.com/live is the place to go to see the full schedule. And also let you know that this week's episode of Checkpoint just went up on our YouTube channel. Check that out. Which by the way will be the last episode of Checkpoint for the year.
Yeah.
We're going to take the next week off of Checkpoint.
That's because we're pretty sure that there's nothing is going to happen.
Nothing could happen at all.
Yeah. We're kind of making some assumptions that we're not going to see anything happen, so.
So that's what's coming up. But yeah, that's the end of this particular stream. It's a little bit of a late one, but that's okay because we got the success in. And Paul, who are our gracious financial backers today?
Well, here are the people who subscribed during this stream.
Huge thanks to Skimitar. It's my own favorite blade now. New subscriber, thank you.
And another new sub, TV Skyin, a new sub for the very end of the year, thank you.
Ketkupa is also a brand new subscriber. Thank you for joining us.
That's amazing, thank you so much. Floofy Noof is back for 21 months, thank you so much.
Well, thank the MTG Ranger for 13 months, that baker's dozen.
Cranston Snort has returned for 46 months, welcome back.
Cloud has got the full year. Congratulations on your babo.
Mirk with 85 months, it's an awful lot of months, welcome back.
I want to thank Sapphire282 for those 26 months. Thank you.
There's actually a lot of one-year anniversaries going by. Congrats to all of you. McNims with your 7 months. Thanks for coming back.
Bo Brinkman, 23 months, almost 2.
Kirby Sliver, I almost did the wrong one, for 54 months. Welcome back.
Red Saint of the United Kingdom, 46 months. Thank you.
Iced Sly for 58 months. Welcome back to you.
CDBBPC is my least favorite bank, but my favorite subscriber. 47 months. Thank you so much.
What do you think, Bits?
I think there's got to be some bits in here. We want to thank specifically nobody.
Oh,
Xantos 69 and Mungo Dude, thank you for those bits.
oh, I see. Xantos got him in right at the end, as always. Yeah. Good.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry for this particular fortnight. We will see you in 2 weeks for something. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but it's going to be great.
Oh, anyone looking, if you're trying to find parts yourself, Retro 6 is where I got the case and some other things. That's from the UK. And then I bought the screen and whatnot from Funny Playing, which is in China. There are other local places that sell these things as well, but that's where I got a lot of the stuff from. They didn't sponsor a thing. I had to buy it all.
You should send Heather your list of parts.
I think I probably should.
In the description.
Yeah.
But that said, we're going to call it a night for today. And as we say lately, ever forward.
Never learning.
No. Sorry, we've changed it.
Have we?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Ever forward, learning out of spite.
Hey!
Have a good night, folks. We'll see you next time.